Chapter 497. Was he your boyfriend? Feng Tianlong had just received a phone call when he saw his daughter running over here. If he had come a second later, he would have regretted it. Oh. Xiao Xiao wasn't stupid. She knew that the old man would have done something to her if her father hadn't come, but the old man was clearly afraid of her father, and Xiao Xiao didn't know the reason behind it. She thought that the old man was afraid of her father, and that made her happy. Professor Guan, it's been a while. I've been wanting to pay you a visit in the next couple of days. Tianlong was very happy to see Guan Shuimin there as well. He'd been wanting to pay him a visit in the next couple of days to ask about the pill of life extension and toxin cleansing. Tianlong and Guan Shuimin knew each other, but Guan Shuimin couldn't do anything after checking on Xiao Xiao's condition. He'd heard that even Lin Dongfang couldn't do anything back then, so how could he? But just because he couldn't do anything a few years ago didn't mean he couldn't now. As long as there was a sliver of hope, Tianlong wouldn't let it go. Ah, it's Feng, long time no see. Guan Shuimin smiled. I'm always free, just give me a call. Guan Shuimin was noticeably friendlier to Tianlong, and that pissed Gongao off. He hemphed and pulled Chen Tian away. All right, I'll be going then, Professor Guan. Tianlong had just gotten a phone call, and something came up. He had to hurry back, so he couldn't chat with Guan Shuimin. He'd have to visit another day. All right. Guan Shuimin nodded. Tianlong was about to leave with Xiao Xiao when he saw Lin Yi from the corner of his eyes. His face changed. Ha! Lin Yi smiled bitterly. Tianlong had found him after all. In fact, Lin Yi was shocked when he saw Tianlong. He didn't expect Xiao Xiao to be Tianlong's daughter. Lin Yi kept trying to hide, but didn't manage to do so in the end. Lin Yi waved his hand slightly, gesturing for him to keep quiet. Tianlong was a smart man. He knew that Lin Yi didn't want to expose his identity when he waved his hand, so he pretended not to see anything and pulled Xiao Xiao away. However, the lingering fear from before was gone. Instead, he mocked himself for being too nervous just now. Tianlong saw how Lin Yi moved his body slightly in front of Xiao Xiao, but he didn't think much about it. To him, it was just an accident. He didn't think that Lin Yi was going to block Gonggao's attack for Xiao Xiao. Now that she knew that it was Lin Yi, she understood that Lin Yi's actions were to protect Xiao Xiao. With his protection, Xiao Xiao would definitely be fine. Tianlong knew how strong Lin Yi was. Although he wasn't Wu Gonggao's opponent, he could still deal with him. Xiao Xiao, do you know them? Feng Tianlong asked without any change in his expression. He didn't understand how did Xiao Xiao know Lin Yi. From the looks of it, it seemed like they knew each other. Yeah, that Lin Yi is my deskmate at school, Xiao Xiao nodded. Xiao Xiao nodded, feeling a little weird. Didn't her dad care a lot about her? What? Tianlong's eyes went wide as he looked at Xiao Xiao in disbelief. You're saying? He's your classmate? Your deskmate? Yeah, what's wrong? Xiao Xiao looked at her dad, confused. She didn't understand why her dad was looking at her like that. No. Nothing. Tianlong shook his head. Lin Yi wasn't part of the department, but he did cooperate with them on a few missions. But even so, with Lin Yi's identity, why would he go to school? He was a third-year high school student, and his daughter's deskmate. Wasn't this a little too unbelievable? But he couldn't tell Xiao Xiao too much about Lin Yi. He had his doubts, but he could only bury them in his heart. He wasn't too sure about Lin Yi's identity, and it was the higher-ups who arranged for him to cooperate with the department's missions. Xiao Xiao, go back to the hotel first. Dad has something urgent to deal with and might not come back tonight. I might be busy tomorrow too. Feng Tianlong was in a difficult position. He just said that he wanted to play with his daughter for a few days, but now he had something else to do. It's fine, you go. I'll invite my classmate to the auction tomorrow. Xiao Xiao wasn't angry this time. She waved her hand casually. Xiao Xiao's attitude surprised Tianlong, but then he remembered how his daughter protected Lin Yi. Could it be that his daughter had feelings for him? Was she starting to like boys? And that boy was Lin Yi. Thinking of this possibility, Feng Tianlong jumped in fright. But Tianlong didn't object to his daughter's puppy love like other parents, because his daughter's situation was special. Quite the opposite, He wanted her to find a boyfriend and give him a grandson or granddaughter. That way, if something really happened to his daughter, he wouldn't have to spend the rest of his life alone, and his daughter's lover was Lin Yi. Qianlong supported it even more. He had seen how outstanding Lin Yi was. Qianlong wouldn't object if Xiao Xiao found someone else, but wouldn't it be better if she found someone he was satisfied with? Qianlong didn't want his daughter to run around, but if she really was with Lin Yi tomorrow, then Lin Yi would be able to protect her. He wasn't worried anymore. "You're talking about that Lin Yi?" Qianlong came to the parking lot and asked Xiao Xiao after getting in the car. "Yeah." Xiao Xiao felt a little embarrassed. Judging from her dad's tone, he seemed to have realized something. But other than embarrassment, Xiao Xiao wasn't afraid. She was just playing around with Lin Yi right now. Even if she really got together with Lin Yi, she wouldn't care. She had always been a troublemaker since she was young. It didn't matter if her father was angry or not. "Xiao Xiao, is he your boyfriend?" Qianlong started the car and asked suddenly. "Ah." Xiao Xiao didn't expect her father to be so direct. She paused and stuttered, "No. No. No." Feng Qianlong asked back, "Didn't you seem to be quite protective of him?" We're classmates and deskmates. Of course I'm protective." Xiao Xiao was embarrassed. She wasn't afraid of anything, but she was still a little shy when it came to relationships. Chapter 498. We sell hardcover editions. Chapter 498. Selling hardcover editions. Xiao Xiao's eyes went wide as she looked at her father in disbelief. What? What did you say?" "What I mean is, Xiao Xiao, you're not young anymore, you should find a boyfriend, right?" Qianlong coughed, feeling that this wasn't the right time to talk about this with his daughter, but he had to. Because of Xiao Xiao's special condition, Qianlong couldn't help but have this thought. Other parents didn't want their children to fall in love early, let alone have a child out of wedlock, but Qianlong wanted his daughter to give him a child as soon as possible. In truth, Qianlong knew deep down that there was no way to cure his daughter's illness. Even if he ran all over the place, the chances were slim. Even if a miracle doctor were to appear, extending her life by a few years would be the most he could do. A full recovery was a pipe dream. This was why Qianlong was so desperate for his daughter to get a boyfriend. He wanted to see his daughter's life continue, and he didn't care about anything else right now. There's no need for that, right?" Xiao Xiao was even more embarrassed. Why would I get a boyfriend? I won't say much about that, just take care of yourself." Qianlong smiled and drove away. After dropping Xiao Xiao off at the hotel, Qianlong said a few words and quickly drove away. The people there were waiting for him, so Qianlong had to leave first. Xiao Xiao was alone in the hotel, thinking about what her dad had just said. What did he mean? Supporting her to get a boyfriend? Xiao Xiao felt that it was odd. She wasn't even at the age to get married yet. Xiao Xiao suddenly remembered her special condition. Wasn't her mother the same age when she gave birth to her? Xiao Xiao's hereditary condition was rather weird. It was only passed down to females, not males. If it was a boy, it wouldn't be a problem, but it was a girl. She remembered hearing her father talk about her mother when she was young, and it seemed like her grandpa was in a rush to get her mother to be with her father, and the two didn't even register their marriage before they had her. But her father was a devoted man, and didn't remarry after all these years. Her father was probably thinking the same thing as her grandpa back then, right? Xiao Xiao shook her head. But times had changed, and she was still a high schooler. Getting a boyfriend and having a child? Wouldn't that be a little weird? Xiao Xiao had never thought about this before, because as far as she was concerned, in her short life, friendship didn't exist, and love didn't exist. Xiao Xiao didn't want to get involved with anyone, and she didn't need other people's sympathy. She didn't want the pain of death. Therefore, in the past 18 years, she had no close friends, only a group of scoundrels. She had never fallen for a boy because she didn't want to face that kind of unbearable pain. But Qianlong's words made Xiao Xiao fall into deep thought for the first time. Find a boyfriend? Can I like others too? Xiao Xiao smiled bitterly and shook her head. Who would like her? Finding a girlfriend like me who's about to die, isn't that just bad luck from 8 lifetimes? Before he could do anything, he was already gone, huh? Xiao Xiao suddenly thought of Lin Yi. If that was the case, Lin Yi would fall in love with her. Even if she didn't dump him, he would still be in pain, right? With that thought, Xiao Xiao made up her mind. Second uncle, Lai Changyi, and the others left. The young man who was bidding against Fatty Lai for the sheepskin map said quietly into his earpiece, "Kuan, follow them and see which hotel they're staying at. Then find out who that young man with Lai Changyi is." The middle-aged man beside Haitian ordered. Yes. The young man called Little Kuan nodded. After exiting the auction house, his figure flashed and disappeared into the boundless night. Fatty Lai didn't have a car in Yangjing, and the hotel they were staying at wasn't too far from the auction hall. It was only about a kilometer on foot. Fatty Lai might be fat, but he had a good body. Guan Shuamin had a healthy body, and taking a stroll once in a while was good for his health. Lin Yi was even better. So the three didn't take a taxi, but walked to the hotel. It was a good opportunity for some exercise, and they could get some supper at the hotel's restaurant. "Boss, have you thought about what we're going to auction?" Fatty Lai reminded Lin Yi, afraid that he'd forgotten about the auction. Fatty Lai was still thinking about the auction again. "I haven't thought about it yet." Lin Yi frowned, deep in thought. Dr. Kang was auctioning off the special edition of Golden Creation. If he were to take out a special edition injury medicine as well, he'd be following the trend. "Boss, I think we should make a special edition injury medicine as well. They have it, and we have it too. It'd save us the trouble," Fatty Lai suggested, seeing that Lin Yi was in a difficult position. "Isn't that following the trend? Wouldn't we be at a disadvantage?" Lin Yi asked. "That. Boss, I don't have a choice. We're still in the early stages of our company, and I don't plan on releasing too many types of medicine. The pill of life extension and toxin cleansing is enough. If we release too many types of medicine, we won't be able to showcase the benefits of our medicine and painkillers. Plus, we need to slowly reveal our trump cards. Bringing them out all at once isn't in line with our business goals," Fatty Lai said. "Then let's make it a special edition injury medicine." Lin Yi nodded, already having a plan in mind. "Our special edition injury medicine is different from Dr. Kang's. I've added a few herbs into the medicine, and it's very effective on old scars. It can quickly remove rot and regenerate flesh." "Huh?" Fatty Lai's eyes widened, looking at Lin Yi in disbelief. "Boss, is there really such a miraculous medicine?" "It's not that miraculous, it's just adding a few other herbs on top of the injury medicine. It's just that the cost is much higher." Lin Yi shrugged as he spoke calmly. It's fine if the cost is a little higher. It's a premium product, and we won't add the normal version," Fatty Lai said. "According to the price of the special edition Dr. Kang's Golden Creation every year, a box is worth more than 500,000. "Oh, that's quite high. It's definitely enough to cover the cost." Lin Yi was surprised. A box of Golden Creation could sell for 500,000. Chapter 499. So low cost. So you're saying that there's more than one box of Dr. Kang's special edition Golden Creation every year? Lin Yi asked. "One box. There's at least 20 boxes every year, but it's usually a limited price auction. The highest bid is 500,000, and it goes to whoever bids 500,000 first. It saves the tedious bidding process," Fatty Lai said. Fatty Lai said, 20 boxes, let's see who's faster. The first to bid 500,000 will get it first. So you're saying that each box is sold for 500,000? Lin Yi nodded and continued asking. Not really, but the first few boxes were sold for 500,000, and as the number of bidders dwindled, the price naturally dropped. There were 400,000 and 300,000, Fatty Lai said. 500,000 is fine. Let's see if there's a pharmacy nearby. I'll buy some more herbs. Lin Yi nodded, thinking that the profit was fair. It wasn't as much as the pill of life extension and toxin cleansing, but it wasn't a small amount. Most importantly, it could make a name for itself. Fatty Lai was already used to Lin Yi's miraculous feats. Lin Yi was probably the only one who'd concocted medicine the night before the auction. He quickly said, "Then I'll contact someone to buy some high-quality packaging and send it over overnight." No need, I'll buy some disposable bottles and put them in. Lin Yi waved his hand. Let them believe it or not. If they believe it, they'll bid. If they don't, they won't bid. That's true, there's no need to worry about selling good medicine. What's the point of giving them such good medicine? Fatty Lai nodded. It'll save us a lot of money. Ha! Lin Yi thought that Fatty Lai was really made for business. It seemed that leaving the medicine company to him was a wise decision. Right, what's the market price of Dr. Kang's golden creation? Dr. Kang's golden creation is 299 yuan a box, and our injury medicine, I think, will be priced at 288 yuan. Fatty Lai said. But I don't know what our cost is, so we haven't announced the price yet. What? We're selling it at 288 renminbi? Lin Yi's eyes widened. Dr. Kang actually sold a box of ordinary Jinchuang medicine for nearly 300 renminbi. Wasn't this a little too much? Who would be able to afford something that concerned the livelihood of the people if it was so expensive? Lin Yi naturally waved his sword and slaughtered those who didn't like him, but as for those poor people, Lin Yi really didn't have the thought of swindling their money. Too cheap. Fatty Lai was shocked when he saw Lin Yi's expression. Boss, Dr. Kang's golden creation is only selling for 299. Although the supply can't meet the demand, I'm afraid we won't be able to enter the market if we sell it at a higher price than him. I also know that our treatment is definitely better than his. Lin Yi heard Fatty Lai's words and knew that he had misunderstood. He couldn't help but smile. The cost of this thing is only a few kuai. I think it's a little expensive. Quack. How much? Fatty Lai froze and almost fell to the ground. Boss, did I hear it wrong? A few kuai. How is that possible? Then isn't the cost of Dr. Kang's golden creation also a few kuai? I don't know about his, I've never seen it before. Lin Yi shook his head. But this is our cost. I suggest that we sell it at a lower price so that normal people can afford it. All right, then we'll be a company that benefits the people. Fatty Lai clenched his teeth and said with pain, then we'll sell it for 199. He was an unscrupulous businessman, but since Lin Yi said it, Fatty Lai couldn't insist. From his point of view, 288 would definitely sell well, and there might even be a situation where the supply couldn't meet the demand. 199? In fact, Lin Yi still felt that it was a little expensive, but he didn't know how much money a company needed to operate. Seeing Fatty Lai's painful expression, he nodded. Okay. Fatty Lai let out a sigh of relief. He was also afraid that Lin Yi would cut down another 100 kuai and make it 99 kuai. Then the profit would be much lower. Then I'll make a plan. The next time we auction our products, we'll announce the retail price. Fatty Lai nodded. Boss, how much do you think we should set the price for the painkiller? The cost of one dose is around 50 kuai. Of course, it'll be lower if we mass produce it. You decide the price, Lin Yi said. Okay, then we'll set a box of 5 at 199 kuai. Fatty Lai probed. 99. Lin Yi said after some thought. Okay, I'll listen to you, boss. In fact, Fatty Lai was afraid that Lin Yi would bargain with him, so he set the price a little higher to give Lin Yi some room to bargain. After confirming the price of the 2 drugs, Fatty Lai was relieved. Most importantly, he knew the cost of the drugs, which made him even happier. This meant that Lin Yi had already treated him as one of his own, and he was slowly telling him some of the core things. They passed by a larger pharmacy, and Lin Yi and the other 2 walked in. Lin Yi didn't use a prescription, but just dictated some herbs and let the attendant weigh them. Of course, although Lin Yi had built up some trust in Fatty Lai, it wasn't complete. When he was filling the prescription, he purposely added some useless herbs, and the dosage was also messed up. There were also a few main herbs that Lin Yi didn't mention. He only mentioned a few uncommon ones, but the attendant shook his head. It's okay, there are a lot of pharmacies in Yangjing. Let's go take a look at other pharmacies. Fatty Lai quickly said to Lin Yi. If it's not okay, I'll get someone to buy a car and send it over. No need for now, let's go take a look at other pharmacies first. Lin Yi smiled. After filling the prescription, Fatty Lai rushed to pay first. It wasn't much, just a few hundred yuan. Guan Shuamin didn't say anything, and he didn't try to remember what Lin Yi bought. He was an honest man, and unless Lin Yi showed him the prescription, he wouldn't take the initiative to ask for someone else's prescription. Not long after the three left the pharmacy, the young man named Kuan looked at Lin Yi and Fatty Lai's backs. He hesitated for a while, and then flashed into the pharmacy where Lin Yi bought his medicine. It was a straight path, and there weren't any crossroads on either side. That was why Kuan entered the pharmacy. Otherwise, he wouldn't have risked getting lost. "Waiter, may I ask what the three people bought just now?" Kuan asked the waiter in the pharmacy politely. Chapter 500. Someone's following you, Fatty Lai. Bring Grandpa Guan to the shop next door and wait for me. I'll go take care of something. Lin Yi suddenly stopped and ordered Fatty Lai. "Oh, okay." Fatty Lai didn't know what Lin Yi was going to do, but Lin Yi didn't seem to have any intention of explaining. He didn't press the matter, and so he brought him to a store not far away. Lin Yi, on the other hand, turned around and walked quickly to the pharmacy he'd bought his medicine from. Lin Yi didn't expect to be followed on his first day in Yangjing. "I'm sorry, sir." The attendant smiled sweetly at Kuan. "Our pharmacy has to keep our customers' privacy confidential." One had to admit that Kuan was extremely handsome. He looked like the male lead in Korean dramas, and the attendant couldn't help but take a few more glances at him. Kuan frowned. His looks had always been a ladykiller, and he thought the attendant would tell him the truth. He didn't expect her to keep it a secret. Still, Kuan didn't give up. He took out his wallet and took out a few hundred kwai bills, placing them on the counter. "Pretty lady, give me some face. That guy was my buddy, and I don't know where he got this recipe from to buy my dad's medicine, but I don't know what he bought, and I'm afraid my dad might get sick from eating it. I want to make sure." "I see." The average-looking attendant's heart skipped a beat. Kuan's looks were pleasing, but the money on the counter was even more alluring. It was quite a temptation for a working girl like her. Her monthly salary was only 1,000 kwai, and Kuan was giving her 500. It was hard for her to refuse. After some hesitation, the attendant quickly put away the money and took out a list from under the counter. She placed it on the counter. "You can copy it, but you can't take it away." Kuan picked up the list and glanced at it. He had an extraordinary memory, and it didn't take long for him to memorize the names of the medicines. He returned the list to the attendant. "I'm a medical student, and I can tell if there are any conflicting medicines. There's nothing special, and there's no problem. I'll return it to you." "Thank you." "Oh, all right." The waitress breathed a sigh of relief. This was the first time she had done something like betraying a customer's privacy. She was not used to it. After hearing Xiao Kuan say that there was no problem, she immediately felt relieved. Moreover, he only took a glance, so there should be no problem. "Goodbye, beautiful, thank you." Xiao Kuan turned around and walked out of the pharmacy. However, as soon as he walked out of the pharmacy, his face froze, because he saw Lin Yi standing in front of him. "Why are you following me?" Lin Yi looked at little Kuan and asked calmly. Lin Yi didn't want to cause any trouble in Beijing, but since someone was following him, Lin Yi couldn't just ignore it. Facing this kind of unknown danger, Lin Yi would usually choose to take action first. However, the jade didn't warn him, so this person shouldn't be too hostile towards him. So, Lin Yi gave him a chance to explain and didn't kill this golden class mid-phase master right away. The person in front of him was at most in his early 20s, but he was able to have the strength of a mid-phase golden class. It was really not easy. "Following you? You must have mistaken me for someone else." Xiao Kuan was only slightly shocked, but his expression returned to normal. However, there was a trace of surprise in his eyes. He didn't think that Lin Yi would find out that he was following him. Xiao Kuan didn't deliberately hide himself when following these three people, but with his strength of the mid-phase golden class, it was a bit surprising that he was found out. "Really? You better not be." Lin Yi shrugged and remembered Xiao Kuan's appearance. In the end, he gave up on the idea of killing him. Being in a foreign land, Lin Yi didn't want to attract too much trouble. Since this person in front of him didn't seem to have much hostility towards him, Lin Yi was only warning him. As long as he didn't follow him, it would be fine. Looking at Lin Yi's back, Xiao Kuan frowned. He couldn't figure out how this ordinary-looking young man in front of him could find him. However, it was obviously a bit inappropriate to follow him now. Xiao Kuan could only call his second uncle, they found me. Oh. The middle-aged man was slightly taken aback. They found you? They have a master bodyguard? I'm not sure. I don't know how they found me, but I was stopped by that young man. He asked me if I was following him. Xiao Kuan was also very depressed. It was really like the saying, always walk by the river and you will get your shoes wet. He actually failed miserably. He thought that it was a very simple tracking mission, but it was seen through by someone else. Forget it, you can come back. Since you know that Lai Chang'e is with Guan Shuamin, it's fine. The middle-aged man thought for a moment and said, you pay attention to their company for a while. Tomorrow, I will find a chance to test Lai Chang'e and see what his purpose in buying that map is. Okay, second uncle. Xiao Kuan nodded and disappeared into the night. He didn't tell his second uncle about the pharmacy. Lin Yi came to the boutique. Guan Shuamin and Fatty Lai weren't actually there to buy anything. They were just casually looking around. When they saw Lin Yi, they went up to him. Is it done? Fatty Lai asked. Yeah, it was nothing. I just met an acquaintance. Lin Yi smiled and didn't tell them about the person following him. He didn't want Fatty Lai and Guan Shuamin to worry. Instinctively, Lin Yi didn't think that Kuan was coming for him. Maybe he saw the future of Miracle Dr. Guan's medical company at the auction and followed him to see if there were any discoveries. Especially since he just came out from the hospital, it was obvious that he was going to find out what Lin Yi bought just now. So, Lin Yi thought that Kuan was trying to pry into business secrets and didn't think about the map fragment. Fortunately, Lin Yi was careful and didn't buy all the herbs at once. It saved him a lot of trouble. In fact, even if Lin Yi bought all the herbs, it wouldn't be of much use without basic injury medicine. Only when it was added to injury medicine would it have the effect of healing old scars. On the way, they passed by another pharmacy. Lin Yi went to buy the rest of the herbs. Fatty Lai didn't seem to have any intention of writing them down, which made Lin Yi feel relieved. Chapter 501. Some left, isn't this bro Cheng Tian? What's wrong? Why do you look so sad? The speaker was Xiao Ji's son, Xiao Wangba. He knew that his family was at the end of its tether, so he wanted to get closer to the other noble houses as soon as possible. He walked up to Cheng Tian when he saw him walking out with an unhappy face. Wang Ba and Chen Tian were friends in the past, friends who drank and played with women together. Chen Tian didn't reject Wang Ba as he looked at him. Don't talk about it. I met a little bastard who tried to steal my woman. Grandpa didn't even help me and dragged me out. I don't know why I can't offend that kid. He's just with Miracle Dr. Guan. Wang Ba smiled. Don't mention it. I met a little bastard who tried to steal my woman. Grandpa didn't even help me and dragged me out. I don't know what's so bad about that kid. He's just with Miracle Dr. Guan. That's right. Miracle Dr. Guan is nothing. Dr. Kang is the best. Wang Ba's brother, Xiao Ben's son, Xiao Wangye, said. The Xiao family and House Kang were about to become in-laws, so it was only natural that they would side with Dr. Kang. That's right. Cheng Tian felt that the Xiao family brothers were his cup of tea. What are you two doing? Come with me if you have nothing to do. I'll treat you to a drink. Chen Tian was pissed, and he wanted to talk to someone about it. The Xiao brothers looked at each other and were overjoyed. They wanted to get close to Chen Tian, and now that he invited them to dinner, they were overjoyed. How could they not be happy? Sure. But let's treat bro Cheng Tian. You're the big brother, and we're the little ones. How can we let the big brother spend money? Wang Ba said. Since you put it like that, then all the more I can't let you guys treat me. Since I'm the big brother, it's only right that I treat you guys. Cheng Tian heard the Xiao family brothers' compliments, and his displeasure lessened a bit. All right, but we'll have to wait. Dr. Kang's Jiaolong bro and his fiancée, my cousin, will be here soon. Let's go together. Wang Ba nodded. Oh, Jiaolong. Cheng Tian paused. I know him, we've met before. Let's go together. After waiting for a while, a Nissan VIP slowly drove over. This was the Xiao family's car. Although the Xiao family had fallen, they did not sell the car. This car was expensive to buy, but they would definitely lose a lot if they sold it, so it was better to keep it as a facade. House Xiao and Miracle Doctor Kang wanted Zhaolong and Xinyan to attend the auction as well, but Xinyan wouldn't go no matter what they said. Zhaolong had no choice but to stay at home with Xinyan. For the entire afternoon, Xinyan sat on the sofa, listening to her MP3 player and reading novels on her phone. No matter what Zhaolong said, Xinyan would only reply with "oh" or "oh." Zhaolong couldn't get mad at her at all. The auction ended at night, and Wang Ba and Wang Dao invited Zhaolong out for dinner. Xinyan had no choice but to go with Zhaolong under her parents' urging. Her father had promised her that they'd have a meal together, and there was no rush to make a decision. They could go back to Songshan after the meal, and so Xinyan reluctantly came to the auction with Zhaolong. "Bro Chengtian, do you have a car?" Wang Ba asked Chengtian when he saw his family's car. Chengtian came with Gongao, but Gongao had evidently gone to meet some friends. Chengtian, on the other hand, was pissed that his grandpa didn't stand up for him, and so he didn't leave with his grandpa. "So where was the car? Let's go. We'll take your family's car." Chengtian didn't think that not having a car was a loss of face. After all, people wouldn't believe him if he said he didn't have a car. "Okay, that's great. Bro Chengtian, please get in." Wang Ba invited Chengtian into the car before getting in with Wang Dao. "Kang bro, this is Bro Chengtian from House Iron Fist." Wang Dao introduced Chengtian to Zhaolong. "Oh, Bro Chengtian, nice to meet you. We've met before." Zhaolong smiled and extended his hand. "This is my fiancé, Wang Xinyan. Xinyan, this is Bro Chengtian, the leader of the younger generation of House Iron Fist, our idol." "Ha, you're too kind." Chengtian was very pleased with Zhaolong's words. "Zhaolong, you're the nicest. We'll have to drink a few more cups later." "No problem." Zhaolong agreed happily. He was good at his studies, but he wasn't a bookworm. On the contrary, he was very cunning. He knew how to please Chengtian. Wang Xinyan, on the other hand, sat there quietly, not saying a word. She listened to her MP3 player as if the people around her had nothing to do with her. Zhaolong didn't know what to do when Xinyan didn't say anything. But Chengtian didn't mind at all. He sat there and started chatting with Wang Ba. Lin Yi sent the 20 bottles of special edition injury medicine to Fatty Lai's room. Fatty Lai didn't think that Lin Yi would be done so quickly. He was surprised, but he admired himself for his wise decision to follow Lin Yi. "Boss, how do we set the price for this special edition golden creation?" "Do as you see fit." Lin Yi wouldn't interfere with the price of this kind of auction item. Everyone who participated in the auction was a wealthy businessman. It wasn't a big deal for them to spend some money. All right. With Lin Yi's full authority, Fatty Lai could do it on his own. He hesitated and said, Boss, can I participate in the auction for this special edition injury medicine?" "You need this." Lin Yi looked at Fatty Lai strangely. Men didn't seem to need this kind of thing, did they? Just like Lin Yi, there were a few battle scars on his body, but Lin Yi didn't think about removing them. There was no need. Heh, it's my wife. She had an appendectomy a few years ago, and it left a scar," Fatty Lai said, a little embarrassed. "You know, every time we make out, I feel uncomfortable when I see that scar. My wife likes to look pretty, and she can't wear clothes that expose her navel in the summer." "All right, I got it." Lin Yi waved his hand when he saw that Fatty Lai wasn't done. "I still have some left in my room. I was going to throw them away, but if you need them, you can take them back." "Huh? Throw them away?" Fatty Lai almost fainted. "Boss, that's money we're talking about. It's a waste to throw them away. It's like throwing away money. I made a little more, but I don't have any bottles left. It's a little troublesome on my bed. I still need to sleep at night." Lin Yi shrugged nonchalantly. Lin Yi didn't really care about this kind of low-cost stuff. Chapter 502. "My dad wants to see you." Lin Yi shoved the rest of the injury medicine into Fatty Lai's hands, only to see that the guy was about to cry again. He pushed the meatball out of the room and slammed the door shut. After stretching, Lin Yi called Tang Yun, but the phone was still turned off. Lin Yi shook his head helplessly, not sure if Tang Yun saw his text. He went to wash his face when his phone rang. Lin Yi thought it was Tang Yun, but it was Xiao Xiao. Lin Yi frowned. He didn't want to pick it up, but Xiao Xiao's perseverance was amazing. She called again and again, and Lin Yi picked it up impatiently. "What's up? Why are you being so mean to me?" Xiao Xiao felt wronged when she heard Lin Yi's impatient voice. What was the meaning of this? He was so nice to other people, but this was how he treated her. "Are you okay?" Lin Yi ignored her. "If not, I'm hanging up." "Yes. Don't hang up, I have something. I really have something." Xiao Xiao jumped in fright. She quickly calmed Lin Yi down, trying to think of a reason to call Lin Yi. "Just say it." Lin Yi resisted the urge to hang up. "Where are you?" Xiao Xiao asked. "Hotel." Lin Yi said. "Is there anything else?" "Yes, An." Xiao Xiao was sweating. "Which hotel are you staying at? What does this have to do with you?" Lin Yi asked. "Do you have something to do or not?" "Yes. My dad wants to see you. You saw him at the auction, right?" Xiao Xiao couldn't think of a reason, so she came up with a random one. "Your dad? Looking for me?" Lin Yi was stunned. But he didn't doubt Xiao Xiao's words. After all, he knew Tianlong, and they'd even gone on a mission together, so it was possible that Tianlong was looking for him. But if Tianlong was looking for him, why would he need Xiao Xiao to call him? Didn't he know how to fight? Also, he had already signaled Feng Tianlong with his eyes. As a professional agent, couldn't he see that he didn't want to expose his identity? Why would he come looking for him? It was one thing to look for him in private, but he even sent Xiao Xiao to look for him. Tianlong wouldn't do something like this without considering the consequences, would he? Yeah. Xiao Xiao had just come up with a random excuse, and it was hard to keep up the lie now. Yes, why is Dad looking for Lin Yi? Xiao Xiao's brain worked furiously, and finally, she got it. "I told my dad that you're my boyfriend, so he wants to see you." Xiao Xiao said shyly. "What?" Lin Yi almost threw the phone away. "You can eat whatever you want, but how can you say whatever you want? Tell Tianlong that he's Xiao Xiao's boyfriend?" Lin Yi understood. No wonder Tianlong wanted to see him. Any father would want to see their daughter's boyfriend, especially him. He knew Tianlong from before, and Tianlong was probably wondering how he got together with his daughter. "Lin Yi, which hotel are you at? I'll go look for you," Xiao Xiao said softly to Lin Yi. Never mind, where are you? I'll go look for you." Lin Yi was speechless. He really had to explain this to Tianlong, or he'd be screwed. "Hihi, I'm at Songjiang International Hotel. I'll wait for you at the entrance." Xiao Xiao didn't expect Lin Yi to agree immediately. It seemed that using her dad as an excuse wasn't bad. She didn't know that Lin Yi had misunderstood her. There was more to this than met the eye. "Okay." Lin Yi smiled bitterly and hung up. He really had to talk to Feng Tianlong about this. After saying goodbye to Fatty Lai and Guan Shuamin, the three of them planned to go to the restaurant for supper, but Lin Yi obviously couldn't eat. At the entrance of the hotel, they stopped a taxi and Lin Yi told the driver the name of Xiao Xiao's hotel. Songjiang International Hotel wasn't far from the hotel Lin Yi was staying at, but it was on the other side of the auction. The car stopped at the entrance of the hotel, and Lin Yi paid the fare. He saw Xiao Xiao standing at the entrance waving at him. Lin Yi frowned. Xiao Xiao was still so enthusiastic at this time. Was she waiting for Tianlong to misunderstand? "Lin Yi, here." Xiao Xiao saw Lin Yi and called out excitedly, waving her hand back and forth. "Where's your dad?" Lin Yi walked in front of Xiao Xiao, ignoring her enthusiasm. "Oh, my dad." Xiao Xiao had already thought of a plan. "My dad received a call at the last minute, and is going to a meeting. He asked me to take care of you first. He'll be back soon." If it was someone else, they wouldn't believe Xiao Xiao's words. How could there be such a coincidence? She called Lin Yi over, and the next thing she knew, she had something to do and had to leave. But Lin Yi really believed her. As far as he was concerned, Tianlong was freer than him, but not much freer. He didn't know when the mission would come. It could be in the morning, it could be in the middle of the night. So, Lin Yi nodded without hesitation. Where to wait? I haven't eaten yet. My dad asked me to treat you to something first. Xiao Xiao was a little surprised. She didn't expect Lin Yi to be so gullible. Logically speaking, Lin Yi wasn't that gullible. In school, Lin Yi wouldn't believe anything she said. What was wrong with him today? Although Xiao Xiao was confused, she wasn't stupid enough to ask. She could only bury it in her heart and wait and see. Oh, then let's eat something. Lin Yi had his dinner early. He was going to have supper with Fatty Lai and Shuamin, but Xiao Xiao called him over. Ah, okay, then let's walk around and see if there's anything good around here. Xiao Xiao didn't expect Lin Yi to agree so easily. She was even more confused. Can't we eat here? Lin Yi pointed at the Songjiang International Hotel behind Xiao Xiao. How could they not eat at an international hotel? Xiao Xiao hesitated. It's really expensive here. I don't have enough money. Xiao Xiao was staying in an economy room, and it was paid for by Tianlong. The food here wasn't cheap. Xiao Xiao only brought a few thousand this time, and she didn't want to spend it all at once. Chapter 503. Chapter 503, Wu Chuntian's plans. Lin Yi's impression of Xiao Xiao didn't change, but he felt that Xiao Xiao had been acting strangely lately, confessing to him out of nowhere. He didn't know what she was planning. Now that she told Tianlong about it, Lin Yi couldn't help but wonder what she was thinking. Sure. Xiao Xiao didn't expect Lin Yi to treat her, so she nodded happily. As the two were talking, a Nissan MPV stopped in the parking lot of Songjiang International Hotel. Chen Tian, Zhao Long, the Xiao family brothers, and Xinyan got out of the car. Wang Ba praised, "Bro Chen Tian, you're amazing. I've only been here once or twice, and those were during family gatherings. Hehe, isn't this a piece of cake?" Chen Tian waved his hand, cocky. In fact, although the Wu family was an ancient family, they advocated martial arts. They were good at practicing martial arts. However, when it came to doing business, they were mediocre. Although they had a few businesses, they were not very big. They only had tens of millions of income a year. This was also the reason why the Wu family only watched from the sidelines at the auction and rarely made a move. In fact, Songjiang International Hotel wasn't all expensive. Just like the guest rooms, they were divided into several grades. There were economy rooms, business rooms, luxury rooms, presidential suites, etc. The ordinary economy rooms were only a few hundred yuan a day, but the presidential suites were tens of thousands a day. It was the same for the F&B. The first and second floors were for normal hotels, so the prices weren't that expensive. A table only cost around 1,000 to 800, and if you didn't want a private room and chose to eat in the main hall, you could get it for a few dozen. The third and fourth floor, however, cost less than 8 or 10,000. The top floor was even more ridiculous. A table of food cost millions, and everything was cooked with top-quality ingredients and international chef. Of course, there was a dedicated elevator for each level, so there was no need to worry about unpleasant situations because of the different levels of customers. This was a testament to the hotel's wealth. That's right. Bro Chengtian, you're definitely on a higher level than us. Xiao Wangdao gave him a thumbs up as well. Xinyan frowned. She didn't like this kind of flattery. She didn't understand why her father would fall for someone like this. Even if he interacted with such a person for 10 years, he would not fall in love with him. Wang Ba wanted to congratulate Chengtian, but when he raised his head, he noticed that Chengtian's expression wasn't right. Bro Chengtian, what's wrong? Fuck, I saw that bastard. Chengtian clenched his fist as he looked at Lin Yi, who wasn't too far away. He had the urge to run over and beat up Lin Yi. Oh, why is it him? Zhaolong paused when he saw Lin Yi. He didn't attend the auction, so he didn't know that Lin Yi was in Yangjing. Bro Chengtian, do you want us to teach him a lesson? Who was that little girl? She doesn't look bad. Wang Ba saw that Lin Yi was alone with a girl beside him, and he immediately became arrogant. Although the Xiao family was down and out, a starving camel was still bigger than a horse. In Yangjing, Wang Ba didn't care about anyone. Ah! Xinyan gasped. She looked at Lin Yi in disbelief, wondering why Lin Yi was here. She even called him earlier, no need. Chen Tian waved his hand. Wang Ba's words reminded him. The girl beside Lin Yi was obviously not Sun Jingyi, and if Lin Yi was Sun Jingyi's boyfriend, then why was he with another girl? Hehe, it was Lin Yi's turn to be unlucky. Chen Tian thought that if he told Sun Jingyi about this, would Sun Jingyi still be with Lin Yi? Of course, this kind of thing was nothing in the eyes of these young masters. As long as their girlfriends didn't find any evidence, it would be fine. If it was put on the table, it would be a big deal. No need. Wang Ba didn't understand what Chen Tian meant. This was such a good chance to teach Lin Yi a lesson, why not use it? I'm going to treat them to dinner later, just cooperate with me. Don't talk nonsense, just listen to what I have to say. Chen Tian wasn't stupid. If he directly told Sun Jingyi that Lin Yi had a girl outside, Sun Jingyi wouldn't believe him and would think that he was lying. Evidence was needed for everything. Although he could take a photo for Sun Jingyi, a photo of them talking in front of a hotel didn't prove anything. They could talk for half a day if they met someone they knew, and Chen Tian wasn't stupid enough to use this as evidence. What he wanted to do was to treat Lin Yi to dinner. At that time, he might be able to see the intimate actions between Lin Yi and Xiao Xiao. Of course, if Lin Yi was more cautious, he could force him to drink more. It was inevitable that he would give himself away after drinking, and if he took a photo, Sun Jingyi wouldn't believe it. Thinking of this, Chen Tian felt that he was too much of a genius. He could kill without a trace, and unknowingly set up a trap for his opponent to fall into. Bro Chen Tian wants to treat him to dinner? Wang Ba couldn't believe his ears. Yes. Later, help me out. If he does anything intimate with that girl, use your phone to take a photo. Chen Tian ordered. Okay. Wang Ba and the others nodded. Only Xinyan frowned. She didn't understand what Chen Tian was planning. Lin Yi. After giving the order, Chen Tian quickly walked towards Lin Yi. Lin Yi didn't expect to see someone he knew here. He turned around and saw Chen Tian. He wondered if this guy was unhappy and came here to cause trouble. What do you want? Lin Yi looked at him, but his eyes fell on Xinyan, who was not far behind Chen Tian. This made Lin Yi even more surprised. Why was Xinyan with Chen Tian and the others? Besides, other than Xinyan, Lin Yi saw another familiar face, Kang Jiaolong. Bro Lin Yi, I'm really sorry for offending you just now. Chen Tian gritted his teeth and pretended to be apologetic to Lin Yi. My grandpa already scolded me, I hope you don't mind. Oh, I don't have time to mind small fries. I don't even remember your name. Lin Yi looked at him and waved his hand. You're Iron Fist Wu, right? Chapter 504. Chapter 504. Overbearing alright, is everything alright? Lin Yi looked at Chen Tian before turning to leave. Wait. There was no way Chen Tian would let Lin Yi leave just like that. How was he supposed to carry out his plan? He quickly called out to Lin Yi. I think you guys are going for supper, right? I'll treat you guys to dinner to express my apology. It's fine, we'll go ourselves. Lin Yi rejected Chen Tian's suggestion flatly. Don't worry, I won't feel good if you don't go. I know I'm in the wrong, and it's best if I can change. Chen Tian said. Give me some face. Lin Yi looked at Xinyan, who wasn't too far away. She was looking at him expectantly. Could it be that Xinyan wanted him to eat with them? What was her relationship with Chen Tian? Lin Yi hesitated at the thought. If it was just Chen Tian treating him to dinner, Lin Yi wouldn't be interested at all, but with Xinyan, things were different. But before Lin Yi could say anything, Xiao Xiao spoke up. You're treating us? Yeah, Lil Sis Xiao Xiao, I'm really sorry for what I did to you earlier. Chen Tian knew about Xiao Xiao's background now, and naturally didn't want to get on her bad side. He wasn't as angry as before. I see. I'll give you a chance to apologize then. What do you say, Lin Yi? Xiao Xiao winked at Lin Yi. Lin Yi blinked, not knowing what Xiao Xiao was planning. But when this girl made that expression, it meant that someone was going to be in trouble. Xiao Xiao had the same expression when she targeted him before, but this time, the person in trouble was Chen Tian. He nodded. All right, I'll listen to you. Chen Tian was overjoyed to see Lin Yi agree. Then let's go. It's my treat today, order whatever you want to eat, and let's resolve this misunderstanding. Oh, we're going to the top floor of Songjiang International Hotel for supper. Let's go there then. Xiao Xiao nodded naturally. Quack. Chen Tian paused. He had only been to the third and fourth floor of Songjiang International Hotel, and that was already very luxurious. One table cost him tens of thousands of kuai. If this was the top floor, how much would it cost? Although he had never been there, he could imagine it. And so, Chen Tian hesitated. He was planning to bring the Xiao family brothers and Zhaolong to the first floor, and with Lin Yi, they could only go to the room on the second floor. The food and wine on the table would be around 10,000 yuan. But he didn't expect Xiao Xiao to ask for the top floor. Hey! What happened to you? Xiao Xiao looked at Chen Tian's face strangely. What's wrong with your face? Don't you practice Iron Fist? Did you practice Iron Skin Face too? Of course not, ha. Chen Tian forced a smile. Then let's go to the top floor. That's great. I've never been to the top floor before. I'll have to eat to my heart's content later. Xiao Xiao cheered. Xiao Xiao had only heard people say that the restaurant on the top floor was as luxurious as a palace, and the chefs were all world-class chefs, but she had never seen it before. Even if Tianlong's annual salary was high, there was no way he could take out half of it to take Xiao Xiao out to eat. Xiao Xiao thought that she wouldn't be able to see it before she died, but this idiot Chen Tian came right to her doorstep. Chen Tian wanted to curse. What the hell are you doing if you've never been there? But he'd already said it, and if he took it back, he wouldn't be able to achieve his goal, and he'd lose face. There were still the Xiao family brothers and Kang Zhaolong behind him, and he was the most famous person in the third generation of House Wu. How could he let them look down on him? Bro Chen Tian, I heard that the top floor is just like a palace, and the rice bowls are all inlaid with diamonds. Wang Ba was looking forward to the luxurious restaurant on the top floor, but it wasn't something normal people could afford. What if Chen Tian didn't have the money to pay the bill? Thus, he quickly whispered, isn't it a little too expensive? Wang Ba's voice wasn't loud, but Lin Yi and Xiao Xiao heard him. Xiao Xiao immediately said, that expensive? I didn't know before, why don't we go ourselves, bro Chen Tian? Xiao Xiao's words not only didn't have the desired effect, but it also angered Chen Tian. He was the son of a noble house, how could he let others look down on him? If he couldn't even afford a meal, wouldn't he be a laughingstock? He waved his hand generously. This is nothing, it's not that much money. I said it's my treat, order whatever you like later. I have to say, bro Chen Tian, you're so generous. Even my boyfriend isn't as generous as you. Xiao Xiao waved her fist happily, and Chen Tian's heart skipped a beat. But he knew that he was pursuing Sun Jingyi, and if he didn't, he wouldn't have a good ending. Xiao Xiao was beautiful, but she wasn't someone he could mess with, especially when her father was Feng Tianlong. Chen Tian wouldn't take the initiative to mess with her. When he heard Xiao Xiao call Lin Yi her boyfriend, he was even happier. He had his suspicions about Xiao Xiao and Lin Yi's relationship, but now that it was confirmed, things were much easier. Spending so much money on treating them was worth it. With that thought, Chen Tian felt better. He said to Lin Yi, let me introduce you to a few friends. These two are Xiao Wangba and Xiao Wangdao from the Xiao family. Huh? Xiao Xiao's eyes widened. Wow, aren't these two big bros' names too domineering? Especially Xiao Wangba, he's so domineering. That's right. Xiao Wangba nodded. He thought that Xiao Xiao was complimenting him, so naturally he didn't hear the sarcasm in her tone. Xiao Xiao called him a little bastard. Our names are domineering when combined. Xiao Wangdao nodded as well, not hearing the sarcasm in Xiao Xiao's tone at all. But it wasn't surprising. The Xiao family was like the sun in the sky, and the old man was still alive. Even if people thought that Wangba and Xiao family were homophonic, they wouldn't say it out loud. Now that the Xiao family was gone, naturally, no one had the time to say it out loud. Only Xinyan heard the sarcasm in Xiao Xiao's tone and couldn't help but cover her mouth and laugh. Zhaolong fell head over heels for her. Xinyan, another girl just came. I was worried that you'd feel awkward, but now there's someone to accompany you. Chapter 505. This meal wasn't for nothing welcome. The group went through the VIP passage and arrived at the elevator on the top floor. Every floor had its own passage, to show how prestigious they were. The moment they entered, two waiters, one male and one female, bowed to them respectfully. The man and woman looked like a perfect couple, No weaker than those movie stars. Chen Tian's heart skipped a beat. If the door was this luxurious, wouldn't the inside be even more luxurious? He didn't know if he brought enough money, but it should be enough. Chen Tian had more than 100,000 in his bank card. He was the leader of the younger generation in House Wu, but House Wu wasn't that wealthy. Naturally, they had to control his pocket money. Bro Chen Tian, look at the luxurious hallway. Are we really going in? Wang Ba's heart was beating like a drum. Chen Tian wouldn't make him pay if he didn't have the money to pay. What's with all the nonsense? We're here, we're here. Chen Tian frowned. He was nervous, but he didn't back down. I said it's my treat. Why are you so nosy? Are you looking down on me, Chen Tian? That's not it. Xiao Wangba felt a little awkward. Bro Chen Tian, Bro Wangba isn't looking down on you. He's doing it for your own good. He's worried that you won't have enough money, Xiao Xiao interrupted. He's just being nice. Chen Tian was irritated. How could this Xiao Xiao say that? What did she mean by worried that he wouldn't have enough money? He turned around and saw Xiao Xiao looking at him innocently. There wasn't a hint of disdain or mockery on her face. He was confused. Could it be that Xiao Xiao wasn't mocking him, but explaining Wang Ba's intentions? I know he's being nice, but I'm the first in line to inherit House Wu. How could I not have enough money? What a joke. Chen Tian explained gloomily. He didn't have any temper at all. Lin Yi looked at Xiao Xiao oddly, amused. He didn't expect her to be so good at playing dumb. Yeah, how could Bro Chen Tian be poor? I'm the one who hasn't seen the world. I'm using my own worldview to judge Bro Chen Tian. Wang Ba knew that his good intentions had ruined things. He quickly explained. I'm really a frog in a well. That's not true. Chen Tian was pleased with Wang Ba's words. He waved his hand and said generously, it's normal that you've never been to the top floor. I've actually only been here once with Grandpa. It's expensive, but it's for a good reason. It's expensive for a good reason. Chen Tian, Bro Chen Tian, man, I do have a boyfriend, or else I'd fall in love with you, Xiao Xiao said worshipfully after hearing Chen Tian's words. Phut. Lin Yi almost burst out laughing, but luckily he had a lot of self-control. It was just a weird expression on his face for a moment before returning to normal. Ich Xiao Xiao's Chen chased CHT for him. Chapter Ch'Tian Xiao Xiao CHT full. He couldn't touch this Xiao Xiao, but he was happy to be praised by her. It was a wonderful thing to be acknowledged by a beauty. Your boyfriend isn't too bad either, Chen Tian said with a smile. But, excellent men always go out and do things. You have to be careful and keep a close eye on him. Chen Tian was joking, but he was reminding Xiao Xiao to keep an eye on Lin Yi. Chen Tian felt that he was a genius. Even a question like that could lead to something that would benefit him. Once Xiao Xiao kept an eye on Lin Yi, he'd see how he'd get in touch with Sun Jingyi. Yeah, I'll have to be careful then. Xiao Xiao nodded seriously. Chen Tian was happy that Xiao Xiao was so obedient. Today's meal was worth it. Not only could he show Sun Jingyi the evidence that Lin Yi was with another girl, but he could also warn Xiao Xiao to keep an eye on Lin Yi. Xiao Xiao's father wasn't just anyone. He'd leak this information to Tianlong, and Lin Yi wouldn't be able to get rid of him even if he wanted to. Let's see if he'd have time to mess with Sun Jingyi then. Under the lead of a girl who was even prettier than a movie star, the group came to a private room. Chen Tian, naturally, sat at the head of the table. Lin Yi sat next to Xiao Xiao, and Xiao Xiao sat next to Xinyan. It was just as Wang Ba said. The tableware on the table was made of pure gold, and the decorative vase in the middle was embedded with diamond. If it wasn't made of zircon and was made of real diamonds, then this vase would be worth at least 1 million. Chen Tian was someone who had seen the world. His face only changed a little before returning to normal. These were all tableware and decorations. They were expensive to make, but they weren't consumables. Excuse me, can we start ordering? A waiter walked in and asked respectfully after seeing Chen Tian at the head of the table. Yes, you guys can order. Chen Tian waved his hand. Since he was treating, he had to act like he was treating. Ladies first. Wang Ba wanted to order a few dishes, but after some hesitation, He passed the menu to Xiao Xiao and Xinyan. The dishes on the top floor must be ridiculously expensive. If Chen Tian didn't have money to pay after he ordered, he'd be screwed. This kind of thing wasn't unheard of. I'll order. Xiao Xiao took the menu and started flipping through it, her face turning bitter after a few pages. I'll pass. Why's the food here so expensive? Just a normal dish costs a few hundred. Lin Yi didn't know what to say, but he didn't know what to make of it. Chen Tian's heart skipped a beat when he heard Xiao Xiao say the dishes were expensive, but when she said it cost a few hundred, he found it funny. A few hundred was too expensive? A few hundred wasn't expensive at all. He thought about the people here. Ordering 10 dishes would only cost him 8 to 10,000. It wasn't much at all. Therefore, he waved his hand generously. It's okay. You can order whatever you want to eat. The dishes here are a little more expensive than other places, but it's still fair. The last time I came here with my grandpa, even he said that the service was so high class, and the dishes were so cheap. Chapter 506. Xiao Xiao ordering what eh? Chen Tian waved his hand. You're mocking me, aren't you? What's this small amount of money? Grandpa and I ordered a few signature dishes here, and it didn't even cost much. I see. Xiao Xiao said worshipfully. I'll order then. Yeah, go ahead. Chen Tian thought to himself. It seemed that all girls liked pretentious guys. His strategy for pursuing Sun Jingyi was a bit problematic. He'd always been careful about his demeanor, pretending to be a gentleman in front of Sun Jingyi. But after seeing Xiao Xiao's reaction today, Chen Tian felt that it was better to be pretentious. Even Xiao Xiao, who already had a boyfriend, was looking at him in a different light now. Chen Tian felt as if he'd been enlightened, feeling that today's meal wasn't a waste at all. Not only did he achieve his goal, but he'd also learned how to hit on girls. Oh, give me one of each of these signature dishes. Xiao Xiao pointed at the signature dishes on the first page of the menu. Okay. But, are you sure you want one of each? The waiter carefully repeated to confirm. The signature dishes on the first page weren't cheap at all. They all cost at least 500,000, and the ingredients were flown in the same day. Bro Chen Tian, which signature dish is the best here? Haven't you tried them all? Why don't we just pick a few? Xiao Xiao raised her head to look at Chen Tian. I think it's a bit wasteful if we order too much. The signature dishes here are all good. I've tried them all before, and I can't tell which one is better. Chen Tian had never eaten signature dishes before. He couldn't say it now, and in order to not lose face, he could only pretend that he'd eaten them all before and let Xiao Xiao order them all. He couldn't say that he didn't know which one was better, could he? The waiter saw that Chen Tian had already confirmed it, and naturally, he didn't ask anymore. It was obvious that Chen Tian was the one treating today, and Chen Tian was an arrogant person with the aura of a rich young master. The waiter wasn't worried that he wouldn't be able to pay the bill. All right, please continue. The waiter noted down the signature dish and politely gestured to Xiao Xiao. This. Actually, I'm not very good at ordering. Why don't you recommend some delicious dishes to me? I like seafood, Xiao Xiao said. Chen Tian let out a breath of relief after hearing Xiao Xiao's words seafood was expensive, but it wasn't that expensive. For ordinary people, these were top-notch delicacies. But for the children of aristocratic families, these things were nothing special. What is the most expensive thing? Naturally, it was those rare and precious things in this world. He was really afraid that Xiao Xiao would eat some rare animal or something. That would be really expensive. If you're talking about seafood, we have Hokkaido abalone, Australian lobster, and Devon crab. These are all our signature dishes. May I ask which grade would you like, madam? Hokkaido abalone is divided into. The waiter was about to introduce when Xiao Xiao interrupted him. Bro Chen Tian, why don't we get something cheaper? Something like the street food stalls, Xiao Xiao said, a little embarrassed. We've already ordered so many signature dishes. Why don't we order some cheaper seafood? What do you want cheap? I want the best. Chen Tian waved his hand. How expensive could seafood be? It wasn't like he hadn't eaten seafood in 5-star hotels before, and a meal would only cost 10 to 20,000 at most. All right, The best Hokkaido abalone is. The waiter nodded and was about to introduce. I said I want the best. What do you mean? Do you think I've never eaten it before? Chen Tian was a little annoyed. This waiter was still introducing things here and there. Was he looking down on him? He felt like he had lost face and scolded the waiter impatiently. I'm sorry, sir. The waiter quickly apologized. He wanted to repeat the grade of the seafood in the restaurant. For example, the Hokkaido one-head abalone was the highest grade abalone. He wanted to brag about the strength of his restaurant, but the owner of this table clearly didn't like it. Then give me one of each seafood. I'll try it myself. Ian, I've never eaten anything so delicious. I didn't waste my life. Even if I die, it's worth it. Xiao Xiao looked at Chen Tian gratefully. What do you mean one? One for everyone. Let's eat the good stuff. Chen Tian said to the waiter. Other than signature dishes and seafood, give us a few side dishes. Don't make them too low-end. They have to match these. Chen Tian said that, but in his heart, he was thinking, how expensive could normal side dishes be? Even if it was a little more high-end, a few vegetarian dishes would cost a few hundred to 1,000. Okay. The waiter didn't dare to say more and nodded to show that he remembered. She could tell that this table of customers was very generous. They were probably very rich and didn't like her to talk. Is there anything else? Do you want to order now? Bro Chen Tian, do we want wine? Wang Ba reminded Chen Tian. Give us some red wine, Chen Tian said to the waiter. 82 laugh it. Okay. The waiter was a little confused. The 82 Laffit was considered a good wine, but it was nothing compared to the dishes they ordered earlier. The dishes they ordered earlier didn't seem to match the 82 Laffit. But the waiter could see that Chen Tian's temper wasn't very good, so he didn't dare to ask. Who knew, maybe he liked 82 Laffit. After the waiter left, Chen Tian said, it's fate that brought us together today. Let me introduce everyone. This is Lin Yi. I have a little conflict with Lin Yi bro, but the fact that Lin Yi bro came to this dinner shows his attitude. And this is his girlfriend, Xiao Xiao. Kang Jiaolong. Jiaolong stood up and extended his hand to Lin Yi. Lil bro Lin Yi, we've met before. Ha! Lin Yi smiled faintly but didn't extend his hand. Do you think we need to shake hands? Chapter 507. Chapter 507 Inch I've never minded idiots. Lin Yi wouldn't let go of the grudge between him and Jiaolong no matter what, let alone Kang Mingming. Fen had been set up so badly by Kang Mingming that it would be a miracle if Lin Yi didn't burn his house down. Lin Yi had always been a vengeful person. If it weren't for the mission, Jiaolong wouldn't even be standing here talking. Jiaolong's face changed, turning ugly. Xinyan, on the other hand, snuck a peek at Lin Yi, a smile on her lips. It wasn't clear if it was praise or amusement. Lin Yi had always been curious about the relationship between Xinyan and Jiaolong. He thought that they were close, but it didn't seem to be the case now. Xinyan seemed to be mocking Wang Ba and Jiaolong, intentionally or otherwise. It made Lin Yi suspicious. Ahem. Chen Tian coughed. He'd finally managed to invite Lin Yi today, and he was planning to use this opportunity to expose his relationship with Xiao Xiao to Sun Jingyi. Naturally, he wouldn't let Jiaolong ruin it. Jiaolong took a deep breath, knowing that he couldn't do anything in front of Chen Tian. He could only sit back down, annoyed that Lin Yi didn't give him face. Today's supposed to be a happy day. Don't let those unhappiness spoil the mood. Chen Tian tried to smooth things over. Lin Yi bro, you and Xiao Xiao really are a perfect match. Lin Yi didn't say anything when Xiao Xiao spoke up happily. You think so too? Yeah, lil sis Xiao Xiao, when did you guys get together? Chen Tian asked without a change in expression. A few days, I think. Xiao Xiao said after some calculations. I see. Chen Tian realized. Could it be that Lin Yi broke up with Sun Jingyi and got together with Xiao Xiao? That would save him a lot of trouble. But just to be safe, he still wanted to reveal the relationship between Lin Yi and Xiao Xiao to Sun Jingyi. Lin Yi didn't say much, quietly observing Xiao Xiao and Chen Tian's every move. Lin Yi was a little confused about Xiao Xiao's attitude. She wasn't someone with that kind of personality, and she wouldn't be trying to get on Chen Tian's good side. According to his experience, Xiao Xiao was a very vengeful person. Otherwise, she wouldn't be looking for trouble with him over and over again. Xiao Xiao, on the other hand, had just started a feud with Chen Tian at the auction. How could she act like nothing had happened? Judging from the way she was ordering, she was probably trying to trick Chen Tian. Chen Tian's attitude, on the other hand, made Lin Yi suspicious. Lin Yi naturally wouldn't believe that Chen Tian was apologizing to him. Unless Chen Tian was out of his mind, there was no way he would take the initiative to treat him and apologize. There had to be something fishy about this. Lin Yi didn't know what the guy's intentions were yet, but since he was already here, he'd just wait and see. Needless to say, the service of the restaurant on the top floor was pretty good. Not long after they ordered, the waiter placed all the delicacies on the table. Other than the specialties Xiao Xiao had ordered, there were also abalone, lobster, and crab. Wow, I've never had such a sumptuous meal in my life. Xiao Xiao exclaimed like a country bumpkin. Ha, eat more then. Chen Tian's vanity was greatly satisfied. He thought that Lin Yi was a far cry from him. He didn't know why Sun Jingyi liked Lin Yi. Looking at Xiao Xiao, Lin Yi probably hadn't even treated her to a sumptuous meal before, right? Yes, it must be because he didn't know how to act cool. He thought that Sun Jingyi was born in a rich family, so she must have seen everything, but it didn't seem to be the case now. As long as he kept acting cool in front of Sun Jingyi, she wouldn't have to worry about not liking him anymore. Then I won't hold back. Xiao Xiao brought the abalone in front of her and started eating with a fork, not caring about the others. After 2 mouthfuls, she praised, "This abalone is really delicious. It's my first time eating such a big abalone." "That's nothing." Chen Tian waved his hand and said proudly, "This abalone is just something we eat casually at home. The abalones we eat during the New Year are much bigger than this. This is a single-headed abalone, the one we eat at home is a half abalone." "Heh! What about a half abalone?" "Bro Chen Tian, you're amazing, you've eaten everything." Xiao Xiao praised, "If that's the case, why don't you give me your share too? You'll get to eat it anyway, it's my first time eating it in my life." "Sure, no problem." Chen Tian's heart skipped a beat, cursing himself for talking too much. How the hell was he supposed to eat it? This single-headed abalone was the best, it was good enough to eat a small piece during the New Year. How could he eat it every day? But he'd already said it, how could he go back on his word? Chen Tian gritted his teeth and gave his abalone to Xiao Xiao. But in his heart, he comforted himself that what he was doing now was very pretentious. He'd just treat it as training, and he'd be able to practice it in front of Sun Jingyi in the future. Really? That's great. Man, these two aren't that much, I'm a little reluctant to eat them. Xiao Xiao might have said that, but the fork in her hand didn't stop stuffing food into her mouth. Xiao Xiao came with the intention of setting Chen Tian up. Who told him and his grandfather to treat her like that at the auction? Who else could she set up if not him? Besides, Xiao Xiao had never eaten such high-end food before. If she didn't eat her fill this time, she wouldn't even know if she'd be able to eat it before she died. So Xiao Xiao didn't care about her image at all, she just wanted to eat her fill first. This piece of trash is nothing in the eyes of us disciples of aristocratic families. Chen Tian continued to practice being pretentious. He realized that he was getting better and better at it. He didn't even blink when he talked big. He was very excited inside, but he kept his face calm. "Wang Ba, don't you think so?" "Yeah. These seafood and whatnot are all normal in the eyes of us nobles. It's too bland. If we want to eat it, we usually eat crested ibis." Xiao family was one level lower than House Wu. How could they eat such high-end food? Even the old man of Xiao family didn't eat it more than a few times when he was alive. But in order to play along with Chen Tian, Xiao Wangba naturally talked big. "Oh, what's crested ibis? Do you have it here? I want to eat it too," Xiao Xiao said, surprised. Chapter 508. Can you sponsor me? Ahem, crested ibis is a rare animal, naturally it can't be found here, this restaurant's too low class. Chen Tian glared at Wangba and coughed twice. "I see, I'll just eat the abalone then." Xiao Xiao, naturally, wouldn't expose Chen Tian and Wangba. She said to Wangba, "Wangba bro, since you've eaten crested ibis, This abalone shouldn't be that rare. Can I have some too? What? Wang Ba was already drooling over the abalone, but since Chen Tian hadn't moved his chopsticks yet, he didn't want to. Xiao Xiao's words put him in a difficult position. What's wrong, Wang Ba bro? What's with that expression? You can't bear to give it to me? Xiao Xiao blinked innocently as she looked at Wang Ba. Of course not, he's just surprised that you're treating trash like treasure. Ha, right, Wang Ba? Chen Tian glared at Wang Ba again. Yes. Wang Ba's heart was bleeding, and he wanted to slap himself. How could he be so shameless? Wang Dao bro, you don't want it either? Give it to me, Xiao Xiao asked. Wang Ba was secretly glad that he didn't say anything, thinking that he'd be able to eat some later. He didn't think that Xiao Xiao would take the initiative to attack him. He was so pissed that he wanted to ask Xiao Xiao if she could eat it. But for Chen Tian's sake, he had to give it up. Of course, you can have it all, but you can't eat too much seafood, you'll get diarrhea. Oh, it's fine, diarrhea is even better. I'll continue eating after that, Xiao Xiao said with a serious face. It'll just empty some space in my stomach. Phut. Lin Yi almost couldn't hold it in. This Xiao Xiao was really something, daring to say anything. But thinking about how she even dared to go into the men's washroom, Lin Yi didn't think it was strange at all. But seeing Xiao Xiao from a bystander's point of view made him feel that Xiao Xiao still had a cute side to her. Chen Tian lost his appetite all of a sudden as he looked at the delicacies on the table, feeling nauseated. He'd never eaten anything like this before, and even if he gave all the seafood to Xiao Xiao, he could at least try some of the signature dishes, right? But after what Xiao Xiao had done to him, he had to go to the bathroom and take a dump. How could he eat? Chen Tian was a little annoyed that he'd brought the Xiao family brothers out. What the hell were they, two idiots who couldn't do anything right? But on second thought, looking at it from another perspective, with these two idiots around, he could also train his ability to improvise and act cool. Adversity produces talent, this saying did make sense. You guys don't want to eat these lobsters, right? Then give it to me too. Xiao Xiao finished the 3 abalones in 2 or 3 bites, not knowing where they went. Even if seafood didn't take up much space, eating that much was enough. Alright, I'll give them all to you. Eat slowly, Chen Tian said as he looked at Lin Yi. I say, old Lin Yi bro, it's not that I want to lecture you, but you treat your girlfriend too badly, don't you? How can you do that? Chen Tian was so excited that he forgot himself and went to show off in front of Lin Yi. It seemed like he'd gotten used to showing off, and he'd gotten used to it already. I'm poor, why don't you sponsor me? I'll treat her every day. Lin Yi shrugged. Chen Tian realized that he was acting in the wrong place. How could he say something like that to Lin Yi? He regretted it immediately. Was he an idiot? I'll sponsor you. What does it have to do with me whether you treat me or not? But Chen Tian could only say, it's fine. Let's eat together more often in the future. Xiao Xiao, on the other hand, didn't care. She ate whatever was good, her mouth glistening with oil. She didn't even wait for the red wine to arrive and she'd already eaten 2 crabs, 3 lobsters, and 3 abalones. This speed was simply shocking. It took a while for the red wine to be served, but half of the seafood was gone. Chen Tian wanted to cry, but no tears came out. Red wine was supposed to go with seafood, and now that the seafood was gone, what was the point of drinking? When the waiter poured the red wine for everyone, Chen Tian raised his glass. Lin Yi, come, I'll toast you and Xiao Xiao. I wish you two a lifetime of happiness. Oh, okay. Wait, I'll finish this crab claw. Xiao Xiao quickly finished the crab claw before raising her glass. Lin Yi saw Chen Tian give Wang Ba a look, and Wang Ba took out his phone and pointed it at him and Xiao Xiao. Only then did Lin Yi understand Chen Tian's intentions. So this guy wanted to take a picture of him and Xiao Xiao together. Lin Yi found it funny. Chen Tian must have wanted to take a picture for Sun Jingyi to see, so that Sun Jingyi could see his face clearly. What he didn't know was that there was nothing going on between him and Sun Jingyi. That boyfriend from before was just an impersonation. This guy even treated her to a big meal. If he knew the truth, he'd probably cry, wouldn't he? After knowing Chen Tian's intentions, Lin Yi just acted casually. After a few glasses of red wine, he felt his phone vibrate in his pocket. It was a message. Lin Yi took out his phone and looked at it. To his surprise, it was a message from Xinyan. They want to take a picture of you and Xiao Xiao. After reading the message, Lin Yi looked at Xinyan's direction, surprised. He didn't think that Xinyan would tip him off. Whose side was she on? However, Xinyan didn't look at Lin Yi's direction. She just sat there quietly, not eating, as if all this had nothing to do with her. Lin Yi smiled faintly. It seemed like Xinyan had a complicated relationship with Jiaolong and Chen Tian. He wrote a message back. I know. Why are you with them? After sending the message, Xinyan didn't look at her phone immediately. She waited for a while before looking at her phone. She quickly typed on the keyboard and put her phone away. Lin Yi's phone vibrated. This time, he followed Xinyan's example and took out his phone after a while. It was a message from Xinyan. My family wants me to get engaged to Kang Jiaolong. Lin Yi couldn't help but frown after reading Xinyan's message. Getting engaged to Jiaolong? To be honest, Lin Yi didn't want Xinyan to get too close to the Kangs. Chapter 509. I need to pack. After some hesitation, Lin Yi sent a text to Xinyan. Don't get too close to House Kang, they're done for. Xinyan read Lin Yi's text, her mouth forming an O shape. She couldn't believe that Lin Yi would warn her so bluntly. House Kang was done for? How could House Kang be done for? Xinyan didn't like House Kang, but she could see that House Kang was on the rise. She didn't understand why House Kang would be done for all of a sudden. Could it be that this had something to do with Lin Yi? Xinyan's heart tightened at the thought, her chest pounding like a deer. Was Lin Yi telling her this because he trusted her? Wasn't he afraid that she'd tell Jiaolong? Or was he doing this just for her? Could he tell that she wasn't happy with the marriage? Or was it because of her? Xinyan blushed as she took a deep breath. She looked around cautiously, realizing that Jiaolong wasn't paying attention to her. Jiaolong was busy taking pictures of Lin Yi and Xiao Xiao in order to please Chen Tian. Everyone at the table had their phones in their hands, and so it wasn't out of place for Xinyan and Lin Yi to take out their phones as well. I don't like him, don't mess around. Xinyan hesitated before sending a text to Lin Yi. She regretted it after sending it. Wasn't what she said a little too flirtatious? She didn't want Lin Yi to get into trouble, but it seemed like she was trying to clarify something with Lin Yi. Lin Yi smiled after reading the text. Don't worry, I don't have time to deal with him if he doesn't mess with me. Xinyan let out a sigh of relief when she read Lin Yi's message, but she was also a little surprised. Lin Yi's tone was pretty cocky, and that made Xinyan even more curious. Just who was Lin Yi? From the first time she met him on the train, to the second time they met on the commercial street, to the time they took a plane together a few days ago, and now they were eating at the same table, Lin Yi seemed to play a different role every time. Bro Chengtian, they called you House Iron Fist Wu. What's that about? Xiao Xiao suddenly remembered Iron Fist Wu after eating for a while and asked curiously. Chen Tian's mood brightened upon hearing Xiao Xiao's question. It seemed that this meal was indeed worth it. This Xiao Xiao was really a good person, understanding. He was just worried that he didn't have a place to practice showing off. Now, he had a chance to show off. However, Chen Tian didn't want to practice the normal methods of showing off anymore. He wanted to challenge a higher realm. And so, Chen Tian glanced at Wang Ba, signaling him to act cool with him. One had to know that a successful pretentious person couldn't do it alone. He needed the cooperation of others in order to be able to show off his skills and level. Wang Ba understood immediately and said to Xiao Xiao, "You don't know, do you? Bro Chengtian's family is an ancient martial arts family, and the martial arts they practice is called Iron Fist Arts. It's quite powerful, and he can crush iron with one hand." Wow, that's amazing. Xiao Xiao's eyes widened. Isn't that Superman? What's so great about Superman? Compared to Bro Chengtian, he's just a piece of trash, Wang Ba said. Then, Bro Chengtian, can you show me? Let me see your heroism, Xiao Xiao said excitedly. There's a vase here, why don't you crush it for me? With that, Xiao Xiao pointed at the golden vase with diamonds on it on the table. What? This? Chen Tian froze. This golden vase seemed to be worth a lot of money. He wouldn't have to pay for it if he crushed it, would he? Ah! Isn't this thing too expensive? It's my fault. Why don't we find something cheaper to crush? Xiao Xiao said, a little embarrassed. Expensive? What's so expensive about it? This gold is too soft. I'm afraid I can't show off my true strength. Chen Tian waved his hand and said nonchalantly, Wow. So that's how it is. Then hurry up and crush it. Let me see it. Xiao Xiao nodded. I knew it. Bro Cheng Tian is from a first-rate house, so he must be super rich. Why would he care about a broken vase? That's right. Chen Tian grabbed the vase on the table and squeezed it hard. The vase immediately deflated, and the diamonds on it fell. Wow. 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 That's so cool. Xiao Xiao clapped and cheered. Bro Cheng Tian, you're so cool. You're the most manly man in the world. I guess so. Chen Tian was very pleased with himself. Only now did he realize how great it was to act cool. Not only was his vanity greatly satisfied, but it was also good at picking up girls. Bro Cheng Tian, can you give this vase to me as a souvenir? Whenever I see this vase, I'll be reminded of your bravery. Xiao Xiao said expectantly. No problem. Chen Tian passed the vase to Xiao Xiao. Xiao Xiao put it away excitedly, along with the diamonds that had fallen from the top. Wang Ba wanted to say something, but seeing Chen Tian's nonchalant face, he didn't say anything more. Thank you, Bro Cheng Tian. Bro Cheng Tian, I'm sure any girl would fall in love with your iron fist. If I didn't already have a boyfriend, I'd want to leave with you. Xiao Xiao said excitedly, her face red. Chen Tian's heart skipped a beat. He almost said, It's fine if you have a boyfriend, you can stay with me tonight. But then he remembered that Xiao Xiao was Lin Yi's girlfriend. If he brought her back, not only would Tianlong not let him go, but he'd also have problems pursuing Sun Jingyi. He quickly gave up on the idea. But he said proudly, it's not bad. I didn't use it easily before, so not many girls liked me. Bro Cheng Tian, you're too humble. Xiao Xiao praised him and continued to finish the food on the table. She could eat quite a lot after talking for a while. Half an hour later, phew, I'm full. Xiao Xiao put the knife, fork, and chopsticks on the table and let out a long breath. She rubbed her stomach. It's too delicious. Can I take it home? What? Chen Tian thought to himself. We haven't even eaten yet and you want to take it home? But thinking about it, he achieved his goal today. Not only did he learn how to act cool, but he also managed to get a picture of Lin Yi and Xiao Xiao. It was quite rewarding. Chapter 510. Fainting after packing Xiao Xiao's bag, Chen Tian went to pay the bill. He was shocked when he saw the bill. How much is this? Chen Tian's eyes widened as he looked at the bill in disbelief. Sir, you've spent a total of 15,037,000. You can take the rest as a discount. It'll be 15 million, the waiter said with a smile. 15 million? Chen Tian couldn't believe that he had spent 5 million on a single meal, but when he looked at the bill, the signature dishes were all at least 10,000, and the expensive ones were as high as 300,000 to 400,000. The single-head abalone wasn't cheap either, and the cheapest one was probably the 1982 Lafitte he ordered. However, Chen Tian was still confused after looking at the menu. Did you guys make a mistake? It's only a little more than 5 million. How come it's 10 million? Sir, the vase on the table has been crushed by you. The value of the vase is 10 million, the waiter explained unhurriedly. What? 10 million for a vase? Chen Tian jumped. Yes, sir. There are 6 4-carat diamonds embedded on the vase, and it's made of pure gold. The 10 million is only half of the cost, the waiter said with a smile. We have a certificate from an authoritative organization. Would you like to take a look, sir? Chen Tian wanted to cry. Wasn't this a little too much? But he knew that a high-class place like this wouldn't purposely rip him off. It was whatever they said it was. Moreover, the price of a 4-carat diamond was probably more than 1 million yuan. So, the price of 6 4-carat diamonds, plus the gold vase, was really not expensive at all. But he'd broken it and given it to Xiao Xiao. He was about to go crazy. The cost of showing off was way too high. It seemed like he shouldn't act so casually in the future. Chen Tian saw Lin Yi, Xiao Xiao, the Xiao family brothers, and Jiaolong walking over. He put away his pained expression and purposely raised his voice. We didn't eat much, we only spent 15 million on these things. This shop is really cheap, really cheap. The Xiao family's brothers were stunned. They thought to themselves that the Wu family was indeed different from their own family. The Wu family spent 15 million for a meal, and they even complained that it was too little. They were indeed extraordinary. Ah, bro Chengtian, you're so rich. Xiao Xiao praised. A lot of people can't even earn 15 million in their entire lifetimes, and you're spending 15 million on one meal and you think it's not a lot. You're so cool. That's right. This amount of money is nothing in the eyes of us aristocratic families. Chen Tian was used to showing off now, and he was always showing off, so the words just came out of his mouth. Then I'll get a braised shark fin for takeaway, okay? I wanted to order it, but I didn't want to spend too much money. Xiao Xiao looked at Chen Tian pitifully. I really want to try shark fin. Ooh. Okay, no problem. Chen Tian sweated. His family wasn't like the other aristocratic families. House Wu's annual income was only a few tens of millions, with hundreds of millions during good times, and they needed to support the entire Wu family's expenses. As a result, the pocket money of the younger generation was only a few 100,000 a year, and he'd spent 15 million on one meal. If his grandpa Wu Gongao found out, he'd be furious. But if he didn't tell his grandpa, he really wouldn't have the money. But that was secondary. He first ordered a shark fin for Xiao Xiao and sent her away. Only then did he stand in front of the bar with a frown on his face, trying to think of a solution. The Xiao family's brothers were sent downstairs by Chen Tian, and he hesitantly called his grandpa. Hello. Grandpa, it's me, Chen Tian. Chen Tian said carefully. What is it? I'm busy right now, spit it out. Gongao had a stomach full of anger from Tianlong, and he had no place to vent it. Of course, this wasn't much. He went to his son-in-law, Liu Qianni, to see if he could get the pill of life extension and toxin cleansing from him, but he didn't expect his son-in-law to insist that it was for Zhenhu's treatment, and that he couldn't give it to her. This made him feel bad and embarrassed. And so, even his favorite grandson calling him didn't put him in a good mood. Grandpa, I'm eating at a restaurant, and I don't have enough money. Chen Tian said weakly. Why the hell would you go eat if you don't have enough money? What were you thinking before you went? Gongao hemphed. Didn't you bring your credit card? You can't use it there. No. The credit card has a limit, and it's not enough. Chen Tian said guiltily. Not enough. How much money did you spend? I thought the credit card had a limit of 200,000. Gonggao's voice went up an octave. 1,000. 1,000. Chen Tian was a little scared. This was the first time his grandpa had gotten so angry at him. 1,000. You can't even swipe 1,000 on your credit card. How do you spend your money normally? Gongao raged. This Chen Tian had maxed out his credit card. No, it's not 1,000. Chen Tian was a little scared. His grandpa was already so pissed off with 200,000, if he told him he'd spent 15 million, he'd be furious. How much is it if it's not 1,000? Gongao hemphed. You're not embarrassed enough, kid. You ate 1,000 and you don't even have money to pay. You're a disgrace to our Wu house. It's 15 million, grandpa. I spent 15 million. Chen Tian gritted his teeth. There was no point in dragging this out. What? What did you say? Gongao couldn't react to Chen Tian's words. How much did you say you spent? 15 million. Chen Tian repeated. Gongao went silent on the other side of the phone. Grandpa. Grandpa. Chen Tian called out in confusion, but there was no reply. He hadn't even called out twice when there was some noise on the other side, followed by Liu Qianni's voice. Dad, what's wrong? Why did you faint all of a sudden? Chen Tian jumped in fright. Grandpa fainted. He quickly yelled into the phone. Grandpa. Grandpa. But there was nothing but noise on the other side of the phone. Chen Tian hung up helplessly, looking at the waiter anxiously. Can I owe it first? I didn't bring any money, and my grandpa fainted. I have to go back. Chapter 511. Chapter 511. Kang Xiaolong's devious thoughts. I'm Wu Chentian from House Wu of Iron Fist. I won't owe you money. This is my ID card. I can pawn it here. I really have something urgent to do, Chen Tian said gloomily. He didn't think that not only would he not get his money back, but his grandpa had even fainted from anger. He didn't know how his grandpa was doing. He wanted to go and check on him, but the waiter wouldn't let him go. This made him anxious. I've heard of House Wu of Iron Fist, but there's no proof that you're from House Wu. Even if you are, don't you have a bank card? Why don't you call someone to send the money over? The waiter said calmly. Chen Tian was speechless. Although the waiter was polite, it was obvious that he didn't believe that he was from House Wu. But Chen Tian couldn't argue with him. After all, he did owe them money. It was normal for them to suspect him. Just when he was at a loss, a figure walked over quickly and asked in a low voice, Bro Chen Tian, what's wrong? Did you run into some trouble? It was Zhaolong. He had been paying attention to Chen Tian. Although he didn't say much during the banquet, Zhaolong had the intention to befriend House Wu. With his age, it was impossible for him to befriend Wu Gong, but he could befriend Chen Tian. When he saw Chen Tian paying the bill and didn't leave for a long time, he thought that Chen Tian might have run into some trouble. He sent the Xiao family brothers away with Xinyan and came back. Compared to hitting on girls, befriending House Wu was more important. Zhaolong was a man with a dark personality. He could control his desires at all times and put the interests of himself and House Wu first. I left in a hurry and didn't bring any money with me. I ran into some trouble when I was paying the bill. I was thinking of getting a follower to send me the money. Chen Tian naturally wouldn't admit that he didn't have money in front of Zhaolong. He was used to being arrogant. Is that so? Then why did you call me? Zhaolong smiled. I'm your follower, right? Bro Chen Tian, I'll pay for you. Chen Tian didn't expect Zhaolong to say that. He was a little excited as he patted Zhaolong's shoulder. Alright, good bro, you'll be following me from now onwards. Don't worry, I said I'd treat you to dinner, how could I let you pay for it? But help me pay for it first, I'll give it to you when we get back. Sure. This little bit of money doesn't matter. Zhaolong could tell that this Chen Tian wasn't much older than him, but he was just a spoiled kid. He didn't know how to control himself at all, and his personality was filled with arrogance. If he wasn't from the Iron Fist Wu family, he would be an idiot. This type of person was the easiest to make friends with. Zhaolong smiled as he found a direction. How much in total? Sir, the total is 15 million yuan. When the waiter saw that someone had come to pay the bill, he immediately felt relieved, but he still said respectfully, Quack. How much? Zhaolong paused as he looked at the waiter with a weird expression. He thought that Chen Tian didn't bring any money, but he didn't think that it was because Chen Tian couldn't pay the bill. But now, it seemed that Chen Tian couldn't pay the bill. Sir, the total is 15 million yuan, the waiter repeated, but he had some doubts in his heart. These people were dressed well, and they looked like rich people, but they couldn't be pretending, right? Were they here to scam people? Alright, I'll pay with my card. Zhaolong gritted his teeth and took out his bank card, handing it to the waiter. As the leader of the third generation of House Kang, Zhaolong naturally didn't lack money, especially since he was in charge of House Kang's medical lab. He had 20 million research funds a year, but spending 15 million in one go was a pain in his heart. But when he thought about the profits that this investment would bring, it was worth it. At the very least, he could get in touch with House Wu. The waiter sighed in relief when he saw Zhaolong hand out his card. He politely took the card, swiped it, and returned it to Zhaolong. Sir, please accept the receipt and invoice. All right. Zhaolong took back his card and looked at the bill. His face twitched twice. It was one thing to say that the 15 million was for the food, but it was clearly written on the bill that there was 10 million as compensation for the damage to the vase. Wasn't this Chen Tian too wasteful? He spent 10 million just for a random pinch. This price was simply too high. Zhaolong put away the bill and pretended like nothing was wrong as he went downstairs with Chen Tian. Chen Tian said gratefully, Zhaolong, you've really solved my problem. Those two from Xiao family are just too unreliable, this won't do. Haha, they're my relatives now, so I won't say much, Zhaolong said with a smile. Yeah, your two families are in-laws now. Chen Tian nodded. No matter what, I'll accept you as my follower. If you need anything in the future, just say the word. We, House Wu, will support House Kang. Thank you so much, Jiaolong said with a smile, but in his mind, he had a plan that would make House Kang soar. If House Kang could get the recipe for the pill of life extension and toxin cleansing before the auction, even if it was just a small amount, it would be a bargaining chip for House Kang to become a noble house. Once they became a noble house, they'd be able to interact with people of a higher level than this. They'd be able to get in touch with the hidden houses behind House Yu, and if they got on their good side, they'd probably send a guard to teach them martial arts. House Kang would become a martial arts house as well, and if a golden class late phase or even a mystic class master were to appear, no one would be able to shake House Kang's position. Be it Dr. Kang, Kang Gui Feng, or Jiaolong, they all knew that a family that relied on wealth alone was too easy to fall. Take the Xiao family for example. Although they hadn't been stripped of their noble house status yet, they were practically dead. Chapter 512. Extreme joy begets sorrow, but the failure of the pill of life extension and toxin cleansing shattered House Kang's fantasies. They could only try to form a relationship with House Xiao and slowly rise to the ranks of a low-tier house, but it was impossible to form a good relationship with House Yu or even the hidden house behind House Yu. Now, Chen Tian's appearance made Jiaolong think again. If he applied to become a noble house after the auction, with House Wu's help, would it work? Of course, this was just Jiaolong's thoughts. He wouldn't reveal it to Chen Tian right now. He needed to discuss it with his grandpa first before making a decision. All he needed to do now was to get closer to Chen Tian. What are you thanking me for? You're my follower, of course, I'll protect you, Chen Tian said. Hehe, then I'll be counting on you from now on, boss. Don't bother me, Jiaolong smiled. That's for sure. Chen Tian felt that Jiaolong was really smart. He was much smarter than the two Xiao family brats. The two of them parted at the hotel. Jiaolong wanted to go back and discuss the application with his grandpa, while Chen Tian wanted to see how his grandpa was doing. Both of them had things to do, so they decided to contact each other on the phone. Lin Yi and Xiao Xiao left the restaurant. When the Xiao family brothers left, Xiao Xiao couldn't hold it in anymore and started laughing. Ha 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 ha. I'm dying of laughter. That Wu Chen Tian is really an idiot. He's still pretending. He's too stupid. Ha 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 ha. Xiao Xiao clutched her stomach and squatted on the floor, laughing so hard that she couldn't catch her breath. I've earned big this time. The vase and candlesticks on the table are worth at least a few million. I'll sell them and buy an Audi R8. Ha 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 ha. I'm dying of laughter. Lin Yi looked at Xiao Xiao, who was laughing so hard that she was gasping for breath. He couldn't help but find it funny. Chen Tian must have suffered a lot during this meal, and he didn't even know it. This Xiao Xiao was quite the scammer. Tempage, how dare you go against me, Xiao Xiao? You've already gotten off lightly this time, but next time, I'll make you bankrupt. Xiao Xiao said to herself. Lin Yi shook his head. This Xiao Xiao really did hold a grudge. No wonder she kept trying to do something to him, it was just that she didn't get anything out of him. But Lin Yi started to understand Xiao Xiao a little. Growing up in a family like hers, she didn't have a mother, and her father was always busy with work. He didn't have time to take care of Xiao Xiao's life, and that was why she was rebellious. Although Xiao Xiao had a part to do with herself, the main reason was her family environment. Are you done laughing? Is your father back yet? Lin Yi waited for a while, but Xiao Xiao was still laughing. Lin Yi couldn't help but ask. Ha ha ha. Seriously, you're pulling a long face at something this funny. Xiao Xiao couldn't stop laughing, almost unable to stop herself. There's nothing funny. He's not the only idiot in the world. If you laughed at every one of them for a while, you'd die a long time ago. Lin Yi said faintly. Ah. Xiao Xiao paused, shaking her head. She sometimes wondered if Lin Yi was the same age as her. No matter how she looked at him, Lin Yi didn't seem like someone her age. Sometimes, he was terrifyingly calm. She couldn't help but curl her lips. You're so boring. Why aren't you laughing with me at something this funny? I think your name is right. Why aren't you laughing at something this funny? Lin Yi shrugged. Achem. Xiao Xiao paused. She remembered that her name was Xiao Xiao. Was Lin Yi praising or mocking her? Ha! All right, I'll laugh. Where's your father? Lin Yi was concerned about Tianlong. As far as he was concerned, an idiot like Chen Tian deserved to get screwed over. There was nothing funny about it. What's wrong with that? Xiao Xiao wasn't happy. She hemphed. My dad's coming back tonight. Let's go, we'll wait for him in our room. Go back to your room? Lin Yi frowned. Yeah, where else? Xiao Xiao just wanted to spend more time with Lin Yi and create a chance for Lin Yi to fall in love with her. She didn't think too much about it, but Lin Yi's question made her a little uncomfortable. A man and a woman alone in a room. Xiao Xiao had never experienced something like this before. What if Lin Yi's animal instincts kicked in? He seemed pretty strong, and she wasn't his match. But thinking about it, so what if he kicked in? At most, he'd just do it to her. She didn't have long to live anyway, and she didn't know what it felt like. But wouldn't that be a huge loss for her? That didn't seem to be the case. Looking at how uninterested Lin Yi was, he probably wouldn't push her down. Xiao Xiao was a little disappointed at the thought. Was her charm really that small? Let's go then, Lin Yi nodded, seeing that Xiao Xiao's expression was normal. In truth, if it weren't for Tianlong looking for him, he wouldn't have gone to Xiao Xiao's room in the middle of the night. Ha 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 ha, let's go. Xiao Xiao picked up the food boxes in her hands and started laughing again when she thought of Chen Tian's dumb face. Lin Yi was a little speechless. This Xiao Xiao seemed to be born to be funny. Even the smallest things couldn't stop laughing. Xiao Xiao laughed as they walked, and she didn't stop laughing even when they entered the hotel. People who didn't know would think that she picked up money. In fact, that vase could be sold for a lot of money. Just thinking about it made Xiao Xiao happy. She picked up a few million for no reason. She wasn't someone who didn't know what was good for her. She could roughly estimate the value of that diamond. Ha ha ha. Xiao Xiao started laughing again when she thought about it. But there was a saying, extreme joy turns to sorrow. And so, Xiao Xiao's joy turned to sorrow. The hotel's marble stairs had just been cleaned, and there were still water stains on it. It was quite slippery, and Xiao Xiao was swaying left and right. She slipped and fell. Ah! Xiao Xiao cried out as she slid down the stairs. Not only did she land on her butt, but she also got wet all over. It was really uncomfortable. Ha! Lin Yi finally laughed. He didn't know what to say as he looked at Xiao Xiao. Lin Yi could totally pull Xiao Xiao back, but he didn't. The stairs weren't high, and it would only hurt her but a little. She'd get a little dirty, but it wouldn't be a big deal. It was good to teach her a lesson. She wouldn't be laughing all the time. Chapter 5:13. Chapter 5:13. Don't peek. Lin Yi walked over and pulled Xiao Xiao up. Xiao Xiao knew that Lin Yi was strong, but she didn't think that Lin Yi would be able to pull her up in a situation like this. She didn't blame Lin Yi. Xiao Xiao looked at the food in her hands and was pleasantly surprised. High-class hotels sure are different. The food is sealed, and nothing spilled. Otherwise, it'd be a huge loss. A sealed box like this costs a couple of kuai. Ha! Lin Yi was once again amused by Xiao Xiao's behavior. She was about to fall to the ground, yet she was still worried about the food in her hands. You've never eaten good food like this before? Lin Yi had always thought that Xiao Xiao's family was rich, and Tianlong's salary wasn't low either. Lin Yi's mission was worth hundreds of millions, so Tianlong's salary should be quite high too, right? Of course not, Xiao Xiao said, reminiscing. It's my first time eating something this good. Other than instant noodles, I'm always at the cafeteria. Didn't you notice? I noticed, but I thought you were trying to get close to me on purpose. Lin Yi really did think so. I bought that Audi TT after I saved up my pocket money for several years. My monthly allowance is 10,000. Xiao Xiao curled her lips. 10,000 was a lot for normal people, but it was nothing compared to Meng Yaro and Yu Shu. Wu Chentian is an idiot, but that Kang Jiaolong isn't an idiot. The rest of the was aren't idiots either. You'll probably only eat this once. You'll be lucky if he doesn't cause you trouble in the future. Lin Yi reminded her because she was Tianlong's daughter. Are you worried about me? Xiao Xiao blinked. Could it be that Lin Yi was starting to like her? Lin Yi didn't say anything and went upstairs. The first floor was the lobby, and the elevator was on the second floor. Hey, wait for me. Xiao Xiao ran after him, limping. Ah, my butt. Xiao Xiao's room was on the third floor, an economical room. The lower the floor, the cheaper it was. Xiao Xiao took out her room card and opened the door, a little unhappy. Why are you leaving so fast? Can you come in without me? Lin Yi didn't bother with her. He was here for Feng Tianlong, and there were some things he needed to make clear. Take a seat first. I'm going to take a shower. Xiao Xiao's body was wet, and although it wasn't dirty water, it was still water from the ground. Xiao Xiao was a girl, and naturally, she couldn't stand it. Shower. Lin Yi paused, looking at Xiao Xiao in disbelief. Wasn't this girl a little too daring? He actually wanted to take a bath. Is he trying to seduce me? Looking at Lin Yi's shocked face, Xiao Xiao immediately guessed what Lin Yi was thinking. She couldn't help but blush. What the hell are you thinking? My body is dirty, it's very uncomfortable. I'm not thinking too much. Lin Yi found it a little funny. It seemed that he was indeed thinking too much. But he wouldn't admit it. Hey, don't peek. Xiao Xiao glared at Lin Yi and went to the washroom. Lin Yi, naturally, wouldn't peek. Xiao Xiao was pretty, but Lin Yi couldn't accept this kind of rebellious personality. This girl was too ferocious. She was even better at messing with people than Yushu, and even crueler than Yushu. But Xiao Xiao's last words made people's imaginations run wild. After all, Lin Yi had heard of the story of worse than an animal. Lin Yi sat on the sofa casually and called Tang Yun. It was still the same off tone. It seemed that Tang Yun didn't turn her phone on. Lin Yi sighed. He didn't know why Tang Yun was mad. Didn't he just stand her up once? But he did have something to do today. Something happened to Fen early in the morning, and he had to take a plane to Yangjing. He didn't even have time to breathe. It was impossible to see Tang Yun even if he wanted to. Hearing the sound of water coming from the washroom, Lin Yi felt an itch in his heart for the first time. He couldn't help but find it funny. Why would he be interested in Xiao Xiao showering? But he had to admit that Xiao Xiao was really pretty. If it weren't for her weird personality, she might have a lot of suitors. And Lin Yi's thoughts were just a normal physiological reaction. He shook his head and tossed the unrealistic thoughts aside. Xiao Xiao was a little nervous in the washroom. She was dirty and uncomfortable, so it was normal for her to want to shower. But now that she was in the washroom, she felt a little unnatural. Thinking that Lin Yi was still outside, she got even more nervous. Lin Yi wouldn't break in, would he? Thinking about Lin Yi's skills, this washroom lock really couldn't stop Lin Yi. Plus, Xiao Xiao was conflicted. On one hand, she was afraid of Lin Yi breaking in, but on the other hand, she was competitive. She was a beauty, after all, so why was Lin Yi so uninterested in her? If he wasn't interested in her at all, how was she going to pursue him? How was she going to take revenge? With that thought, Xiao Xiao gritted her teeth. You can't trap a wolf if you don't give up your child, and you can't trap a pervert if you don't give up your body, and so, Xiao Xiao closed the washroom door, but didn't lock it from the inside. If Lin Yi broke in, she'd give him some benefits. Let his eyes take advantage of her, let him see some visible parts. As long as she didn't really let him take advantage of her, it'd be fine. Yes, it was written in the book. This kind of hazy feeling was even more attractive to men. With her worries set aside, Xiao Xiao took a shower. She had to admit, having a hot shower after eating and drinking was really enjoyable. Xiao Xiao started humming as she applied the lotion on her body. La 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 la, I love showering, the turtle falls. Xiao Xiao was feeling pleased with herself when a chill spread through her body. She didn't notice it at first, thinking that it was because the weather was cold and she didn't have any clothes on. But then, she realized that it wasn't the case. So uncomfortable. Xiao Xiao felt a little dizzy, and she almost couldn't stand straight. She quickly turned off the hot shower, letting the steam out so she could breathe, but the cold and suffocating feeling was getting stronger and stronger. Phew! So uncomfortable. Xiao Xiao moaned, suddenly remembering her body's taboo. She couldn't eat too much seafood. Too much seafood could cause the sickness in her body to act up, and if it was serious, she could lose her life. Chapter 5:14. Xiao Xiao's illness was acting up. But it was too late for regrets now. She'd already eaten it. The sad thing was that she was so happy at the time, thinking that she'd taken advantage of her. Xiao Xiao breathed heavily, feeling like she'd fallen into an icehouse, but she didn't dare turn on the hot water. She was already having a hard time breathing, and if there was steam, she'd probably suffocate to death. Help! It's so uncomfortable, I'm dying. Xiao Xiao tried her best to scream, but her body was too weak, and her voice was pitifully small. But even if it was small, Lin Yi could still hear it. In fact, Lin Yi heard it from the first moan. A golden class late phase was no joke, and Lin Yi was stronger than a normal golden class late phase. But Lin Yi didn't think much of it. He thought that Xiao Xiao was trying to seduce him. Although Lin Yi didn't think that Xiao Xiao was the kind of girl who would do anything when she went crazy, Lin Yi didn't take it seriously. Xiao Xiao's cry for help was heard by Lin Yi, but Lin Yi didn't believe her. This girl had too many ideas. Who knew if it was real or not? What if she accused him of molesting her and took a picture of it after he entered the washroom? He wouldn't be able to explain himself then. Lin Yi. I'm dying. Help. Xiao Xiao started to despair when she didn't see Lin Yi. She was acting up in the washroom, and no one knew. She wouldn't even know how she died. How pitiful. Xiao Xiao knew that she didn't have long to live, but she didn't want to die. Living one more day was one more day. Who would want to die so early? She tried to crawl towards the washroom door, wanting to crawl out. Phoo! Xiao Xiao tried to push open the washroom door, but it wasn't locked. If she didn't press down on the door handle, it wouldn't be that easy to open. Xiao Xiao was really in despair now. She didn't want to die. She hadn't lived long enough. There were still many things that he had not done. How could he die just like that? Originally, she had planned to travel around the world before she died. Furthermore, she had never even had a boyfriend before, so she didn't know what it was like to be in love. She didn't want to die. That was Xiao Xiao's last thought before she fainted beside the bathroom door. At first, Lin Yi didn't think much of Xiao Xiao's cries, but after a while, there was no sound coming from the washroom. Lin Yi couldn't help but wonder. Logically speaking, shouldn't Xiao Xiao have come out of the washroom after failing to trick him? There was no sound of water anymore, which meant that Xiao Xiao had finished showering. But why wasn't she out yet? Could it be? Lin Yi frowned. Did something really happen to Xiao Xiao? Lin Yi wasn't the type of person who liked to stick his nose into other people's business, but he couldn't just ignore it. He was familiar with Xiao Xiao, at least they were desk mates. She was also Tianlong's daughter, and if something happened to her while they were together, wouldn't Tianlong curse him to death? Lin Yi smiled bitterly as he stood up and tiptoed to the washroom door, listening to the sounds inside. Although Lin Yi could hear it from outside, Lin Yi wanted to hear it more clearly. Xiao Xiao wasn't a master, and she hadn't been trained. Even if she pretended not to make a sound, she couldn't be as silent as those trained people. Lin Yi, on the other hand, didn't hear anything at all. He felt that something wasn't right. After some hesitation, Lin Yi put his hand on the door handle, but what surprised Lin Yi was that the washroom wasn't locked. Lin Yi easily opened the door, but what happened next made Lin Yi jump. Xiao Xiao was naked, lying on the floor of the washroom, not moving at all. Xiao Xiao? Lin Yi tried calling. There was no response. At this point, he was completely sure that something had happened to Xiao Xiao. From the looks of it, there was no way she could take pictures or threaten him with something like that. After confirming that there was something wrong with Xiao Xiao, Lin Yi quickly crouched down, not looking around as he grabbed Xiao Xiao's wrist. He couldn't help but fall into deep thought. There was nothing wrong with Xiao Xiao's body. All her bodily functions were normal, but there was a lack of life. This surprised Lin Yi. Life was a very strange thing. According to modern medicine, there was no such thing as life. As long as there were no problems with the organs, it meant that the person was fine. But Lin Yi could feel everyone's life force. People who hadn't trained before would have weaker life force than those who had. For example, Golden Class Masters had stronger life force than normal people. Mystic class masters had stronger life force than golden class masters, and this life force, in Jiao Yazi's words, was a type of energy, and he used this type of energy to determine a person's strength level. Jiao Lao, what's going on? Lin Yi was a miracle doctor under old Lin's tutelage, but he had never seen Xiao Xiao in such a strange condition. I don't know. Jiao Yazi couldn't answer Lin Yi's question for the first time, but people with weak bodies have weak energy too. Lin Yi was panicking, and he couldn't just let Xiao Xiao lie on the ground like this. Lin Yi picked her up, but because his mind was occupied, he didn't pay attention to where his hands were, and his right hand touched something soft. What? Lin Yi blinked, and realized where he touched. It was a girl's chest. Lin Yi's heart skipped a beat, and he almost threw Xiao Xiao away. He'd touched Yushu before, but it was through clothes, so it wasn't direct contact. All this time, Lin Yi thought that the first girl he touched would be Tang Yun. But it was Xiao Xiao. Lin Yi was usually calm, but he couldn't stay calm at this moment. He was very excited. Although, from a relationship perspective, Lin Yi didn't like Xiao Xiao, but this reaction had nothing to do with feelings. Lin Yi wanted to let go, but he didn't want to. The hand holding Xiao Xiao was shaking. He turned around excitedly, but Lin Yi's arm scratched the lock on the door, and blood flowed out. Chapter 5:15. Level drop. Lin Yi took a deep breath and hugged Xiao Xiao tighter. He ignored the softness in his arms and rushed into the room. Xiao Xiao was unconscious right now. What if she died if he didn't take care of it? In the past, Lin Yi wouldn't ignore Xiao Xiao, but he definitely wouldn't worry about it. But after knowing that Xiao Xiao was Qianlong's daughter, Lin Yi couldn't help but pay more attention to Xiao Xiao. After putting Xiao Xiao on the bed, Lin Yi frowned. Although Lin Yi was called a miracle doctor, Lin Yi knew that there was still a gap between his and the old man's medical skills, but not by much. But Xiao Xiao's condition was something that Lin Yi had never heard of before. At this moment, Lin Yi couldn't tell what was wrong with Xiao Xiao at all. If Lin Yi didn't know about the symptoms after a person fainted, he would have thought that Xiao Xiao was pretending to be unconscious to trick him. Of course, with Xiao Xiao's personality, she would have done something like this to trick Lin Yi, but Lin Yi found out from Lin Yi's examination that this wasn't the case. Lin Yi panicked. On one hand, he was worried about Xiao Xiao's condition, and on the other hand, he was afraid that Tianlong would suddenly come back. If Tianlong saw his daughter lying naked on the bed, he wouldn't be able to explain himself. Lin Yi fell into deep thought. Lin Yi really didn't know what to do with Xiao Xiao. Of course, Lin Yi didn't have the intention to send Xiao Xiao to the hospital. If he couldn't find the problem, going to the hospital would be pointless. There was nothing wrong with her body, and her organs were perfectly healthy. From the outside, Xiao Xiao was a healthy person who couldn't be any healthier, but why was there no sign of life in her? Blood flowed down Lin Yi's arm, staining the bedsheets and Xiao Xiao's body. But Lin Yi didn't have the time to care about the wound on his arm. After all, it wasn't a big deal at all. Jiao Lao, you are very knowledgeable. Do you have any solutions? Lin Yi had no choice but to ask Jiao Yazi for help again. Her body lacks energy. Little Lin Yi, you can try channeling the art of dragon mastery into her body and see what happens. Jiao Yazi's voice rang in Lin Yi's ears. Lin Yi was slightly taken aback. He immediately found hope. Yeah, why didn't I think of that? Since Xiao Xiao's body was lacking life force, could he give the energy from his art of dragon mastery to Xiao Xiao? With that thought, Lin Yi didn't hesitate anymore. He grabbed Xiao Xiao's hands and channeled the art of dragon mastery. In an instant, a strong suction force came from Xiao Xiao's body, and the energy in Lin Yi's body surged into Xiao Xiao's body at an unbelievable speed. Lin Yi was shocked. In the past, Lin Yi had used his energy to save other people, like Zhenhu. So he wasn't a stranger to this kind of suction force. This was the energy requirement of an injured body. But this was the first time Lin Yi had seen someone like Xiao Xiao, sucking in energy like a bottomless pit. But in order to wake Xiao Xiao up, Lin Yi gritted his teeth and endured it. It was just losing some energy, wasn't it? He had the Jade's training space anyway, he could recover it after a nap. But Lin Yi's idea was good, but he soon realized that it wasn't the case. Because Xiao Xiao's body seemed to have an endless thirst for energy, Lin Yi's face turned pale as well, but the energy in his body continued to flow into Xiao Xiao's body. Lin kid, let go. Zhao Yazi sensed that something was wrong as well. He quickly reminded Lin Yi. Lin Yi heard Zhao Yazi's warning, and his body shook. He wanted to let go of Xiao Xiao's hands, but he realized that there was some kind of sticky force between their hands, and they couldn't separate at all. Zhao Lao, what do we do? Lin Yi was shocked. He had to ask Zhao Lao for help. Zhao Yazi was confused as well, but with his knowledge, he couldn't understand why this was happening. Don't you want to try using the art of dragon mastery again? I can't stop. Lin Yi smiled bitterly. He had thought of this a long time ago, but the art of dragon mastery was circulating in his body on its own, and it wasn't something Lin Yi could control. It was like when he was about to level up and break through. He couldn't control it at all. Zhao Yazi didn't know what to do. I'm out of ideas, you think of something yourself. You damn old man. Lin Yi was panicking. Zhao Yazi didn't care anymore, so what was he going to do? He called out. Zhao Lao, come out. However, Zhao Yazi pretended to be dead and didn't make a sound. Ah, Lin Yi screamed. He felt as if the energy in his body was sucked dry. He fell on the bed and fainted. Luckily, you're not dead. Zhao Yazi's voice finally sounded. Huh. Lin Yi was stunned. I'm fine. However, the next moment, Lin Yi found himself automatically entering the cultivation space inside the jade pendant. In the past, he could only enter when he was asleep. He didn't expect to be able to enter when he fainted. I'm not dead, but the situation doesn't seem to be very good. Zhao Yazi laughed dryly. You damn old man, we're both teachers and friends. How can you leave me alone when you're in trouble? Lin Yi was furious. Luckily I'm lucky. It looks like I'm only unconscious and not dead. Hee hee. Isn't this beyond my knowledge? I don't know what's going on either. I can't just say anything, right? Zhao Yazi was embarrassed. Lin Yi also knew that this wasn't the time to blame Zhao Yazi. Zhao Lao was right. He didn't know what happened to him just now. He could only choose to remain silent. You should look at your own situation. Little Yi, your situation isn't good. Zhao Yazi coughed twice to divert Lin Yi's attention. Lin Yi was shocked when he heard Zhao Yazi's words. Yeah, I was busy talking to Zhao Yazi. I didn't even check my own situation. I lost so much energy just now. I don't know if it's harmful to my body. Although I'm still in the cultivation space, my body outside is in a coma. Lin Yi quickly checked his own situation. However, the next moment, Lin Yi's face changed. Chapter 516. A blessing in misfortune. Zhao Lao, I think I dropped a level. Lin Yi smiled bitterly at Zhao Yazi. Lin Yi didn't think that he would be so unlucky. He tried to save Xiao Xiao out of goodwill, but he didn't even get to save her. Instead, he dropped a level. I can tell. There's no energy in your body at all. Your condition is the same as Xiao Xiao's, Zhao Lao said. Zhao Yazi knew that something was wrong. That was why he reminded Lin Yi to check his body. Then, does it mean that I've lost all my strength? Lin Yi was a little depressed, but he was able to accept it. He had already dropped a level, and there was no point in being sad. It was better to figure out the situation and find a solution. Haha, yeah. Zhao Yazi smiled. You used up all your energy, so of course you dropped a level. It's not normal if you don't drop a level. Ah. Lin Yi looked at Zhao Yazi, who could still smile at a time like this. He felt weird. Zhao Lao, why do I feel like you're gloating? Of course not, I just think that it's okay to lose a level. Golden class late phase peak isn't that big of a deal, so what if I lose a level? Elder Zhao waved his hand and said nonchalantly. Zhao Lao, that's easy for you to say. I have a lot of enemies, okay. Lin Yi was speechless. Wouldn't I have to hide in the mountains if that's the case? I say, Lil Yi, aren't you a little too useless? You lost a golden class late phase peak, and you're so worried that you want to hide in your hometown. Can you still do something big? Zhao Yazi looked at Lin Yi mockingly. Golden class late phase peak is nothing in your eyes, but at least it's enough for me to protect myself. Lin Yi was startled for a moment before a trace of joy flashed across his eyes. He looked at Jiao Yazi and said, Jiao Lao, do you have a solution? Solution? You don't know? Jiao Yazi looked at Lin Yi with a faint smile. If I know, can I ask you? Lin Yi was a little helpless. This Jiao Yazi seemed to be very naughty and mischievous. I thought you knew. Jiao Yazi said, it's such a simple thing. If you drop a level, can't you just train again? Haven't you played online games before? Practice again? Lin Yi was depressed after hearing it. This is a way, but isn't this method a bit too slow? It took me more than 10 years to reach the late phase of the golden class. Your art of dragon mastery didn't drop, Jiao Yazi said, looking at Lin Yi. Art of dragon mastery? Lin Yi suddenly reacted and subconsciously channeled the art of dragon mastery. The energy in the space in the jade quickly rushed into his body. Lin Yi also sensed the level of the art of dragon mastery. It was still at the second level. Do you understand now? Golden class is just a common level created by some people. It's mainly based on the amount of energy in the body, which is what they call pure qi. Jiao Yazi said, you're practicing the art of dragon mastery, but it's only the first level. It's equivalent to the late phase of the golden class. Then if I train again, won't it still be very slow? Lin Yi asked after some hesitation. Have you played online games before? Jiao Yazi was a rather fashionable old man. He even knew about online games. A little. Lin Yi nodded. But he didn't know what it had to do with online games. The situation in your body right now is that although there's no energy, the level is still there. Jiao Yazi explained, it's like when you play online games. The level is there, but the experience is gone. Is it faster for a level 30 character to take care of a level 1 character, or for a level 1 character to reach level 30 by themselves? Lin Yi immediately understood what Jiao Yazi meant. Although Jiao Yazi's analogy was very common, it was very appropriate. In other words, he was already at the second level of the art of dragon mastery. His training speed now should be much faster than when he wasn't even at the first level. He also remembered that he could still train in the space in the jade, so his speed was naturally not the same as before. Do you understand now? Jiao Yazi looked at Lin Yi and laughed. It's not a big deal. Why are you so nervous? Hihi, I didn't know. Lin Yi was a little embarrassed. He was indeed too worried just now. Now that he thought about it, it made sense. Lin Yi channeled the art of dragon mastery again, and the energy in the space started to surge. Lin Yi felt it. It was more than 10 times faster than before, and the purity of the energy was incomparable. He calmed down a little. After solving his problem, Lin Yi suddenly remembered that he didn't know about Xiaoxiao's situation. He wanted to go back to reality to have a look, but he realized that he couldn't go back this time. Usually, Lin Yi could control the time he woke up in the jade space, and he could also sense his body's condition in the outside world. Lin Yi was only concerned with his own strength before, and he didn't pay attention to the outside world. But now, he realized that he didn't have the same connection with his body in the outside world. Jiao Lao, I can't go back? Lin Yi was a little worried, but thinking about Jiao Yazi's calm face, he knew that if something really happened to him, he wouldn't be like this anymore. With the experience of recovering his strength, Lin Yi wasn't as scared this time. You've used up all your energy and fainted. Naturally, it's different from sleeping on your own. Jiao Yazi said faintly, you can go back after recovering some energy in the space. So that was it. Lin Yi nodded. It didn't seem to be a big problem with Jiao Yazi's confirmation. Lin Yi started training in peace. Time passed, and slowly, Lin Yi had a connection with his body in the outside world. He could feel that Xiaoxiao's breathing had calmed down, and her body wasn't lifeless like before. There was a faint energy wave, and Lin Yi let out a sigh of relief. It seemed that Xiaoxiao was fine now. This allowed him to train in peace in the jade space. Otherwise, if he kept worrying about Xiaoxiao, Lin Yi wouldn't be able to calm down. The energy in the jade space surged into Lin Yi's body, and Lin Yi's strength was growing at an unbelievable rate. This made Lin Yi completely relax. With his current speed, it wouldn't take long for him to recover his strength. Chapter 517. Chapter 517, Xiao Xiao's evil idea. Lin Yi was pulled back by Xiao Xiao's scream. What made Lin Yi happy was that Xiao Xiao really woke up. Lin Yi's hands were still holding onto Xiao Xiao's hands. You're awake. Lin Yi breathed out in relief when he saw that Xiao Xiao was fine. You. What did you do to me? Xiao Xiao woke up to find herself naked on the bed, and Lin Yi was sleeping beside her. The scariest thing was that there were traces of blood between her legs and the bed sheet. Xiao Xiao, who thought that she had lost her virginity, started screaming. But Lin Yi didn't know what was going on. He looked at Xiao Xiao, stunned. Me? What did I do to you? You. Xiao Xiao was a little annoyed. Lin Yi wouldn't go back on his word, would he? She was naked on the same bed as him, and he was still asking her what she did. Wasn't this infuriating? Xiao Xiao knew that she didn't have long to live, but she wasn't a casual girl. She couldn't pretend that nothing had happened. What about me? Lin Yi was a little annoyed. He saved Xiao Xiao, and this girl thought that he did something to her. She lost a level herself, and he still hadn't settled the score with her. He said, without me, you'd be dead. Xiao Xiao froze, suddenly remembering what happened. Xiao Xiao opened her eyes and realized that she was naked on the bed with Lin Yi, and there were bloodstains on her body and the bedsheet. She was a little confused. She subconsciously thought that something had happened between the two of them, but Lin Yi's words reminded her that she'd been in the middle of a shower, and then fainted because of the discomfort. Did that mean that Lin Yi had gotten her out of the washroom and saved her? But how did Lin Yi save him? Even if Xiao Xiao hadn't experienced it herself, she knew from her mother's diary that the moment she showed symptoms like that was the moment it would happen. In other words, she wasn't far from death, and even the best doctors wouldn't be able to save her. Xiao Xiao's cry for help earlier was out of instinct. She knew she was going to die, but who would want to die? But now, Xiao Xiao felt that her body was fine, as if there were no symptoms at all. Could it be that Lin Yi really did save her? You saved me. Xiao Xiao looked at Lin Yi hesitantly. Can you stop asking nonsense? Lin Yi smiled bitterly. How did you save me? Xiao Xiao was curious. She had an incurable disease, and although her body felt fine now, she still didn't believe that Lin Yi could save her. No comment, Lin Yi said lightly. Oh. Xiao Xiao didn't pursue the matter. She suddenly remembered the blood on her body. Then what's with the blood on me? You really didn't. I cut my arm when I was hugging you in the bathroom. Lin Yi raised his arm, but to his surprise, the wound was pretty much healed already. There was only a faint scar on it. Really? Xiao Xiao looked at the scar on Lin Yi's arm. It didn't look new, and she was suspicious. Did you just cut it? Lin Yi shrugged and stood up. It didn't matter to Lin Yi whether or not Xiao Xiao believed him. Hurry up and put on your clothes. Otherwise, your father will think that I really did something to you when he comes back. Xiao Xiao just realized that she was still naked, and Lin Yi had been with her for so long. Didn't he see everything? Xiao Xiao blushed. You. Turn around. I did. Your body's not bad. Lin Yi didn't have any bad feelings towards Xiao Xiao, but he didn't like her either. He didn't hold back with his words. You. Xiao Xiao was furious. She glared at Lin Yi, wanting to kill Lin Yi with her eyes. Xiao Xiao knew very well that if she were to fight Lin Yi right now, she'd be the one exposed, regardless of whether or not she'd be a match for Lin Yi. But now that Lin Yi had turned around, Xiao Xiao's eyes almost popped out of their sockets. It didn't have any effect on Lin Yi. Xiao Xiao was pissed, but she rolled her eyes and suddenly thought of a bold idea. Xiao Xiao gritted her teeth and picked up her phone from the bed, setting it to camera mode. She jumped off the bed and hugged Lin Yi from behind, taking a picture with her phone. Xiao Xiao's action stunned Lin Yi. Lin Yi turned around to wait for Xiao Xiao to put on her clothes, naturally not on guard against her. Plus, Lin Yi had pretty much lost all his strength. He only noticed her when she got close. What are you doing? Lin Yi didn't know what Xiao Xiao was doing. His heart throbbed as he felt Xiao Xiao's softness on his back after hugging him. It made Lin Yi's heart skip a beat. Nothing. Xiao Xiao jumped away from Lin Yi in a panic and quickly put her phone away. Why did you take a picture of me? Lin Yi didn't turn around, but he could see Xiao Xiao's hand holding the phone. "Tell my dad that you raped me," Xiao Xiao said, rolling her eyes. Lin Yi frowned, but didn't say anything. Lin Yi had seen Xiao Xiao's weird side before, so he didn't find it strange. Xiao Xiao didn't see Lin Yi answer, so she got bored and put on her clothes. "Hey, you really didn't do anything with me? You couldn't feel it yourself?" Lin Yi asked. "Why would I feel it? I fainted, how would I know what you did?" Xiao Xiao hemphed. "Then you're not a virgin?" Lin Yi asked. "You're not a virgin?" "Of course I am." Xiao Xiao wasn't too happy to hear Lin Yi say that she wasn't a virgin. Her behavior was similar to a delinquent girl's, but Xiao Xiao had always kept her chastity and had never had a boyfriend. "Of course not." Lin Yi curled his lips. "If you were a virgin, wouldn't your first time hurt? Go to the hospital and you'll know if it's okay." Xiao Xiao came to a realization he was right. She didn't feel anything weird, so nothing had happened. But didn't that mean she wouldn't have anything to use against Lin Yi? Chapter 518. Chapter 518. Recovery. Go play by yourself. Call me when your dad comes back. Lin Yi looked at the time. It was already 1 in the morning. He and Xiao Xiao had been unconscious for a few hours, and Tianlong hadn't come back yet. He probably wouldn't come back tonight. Lin Yi knew that Tianlong's job wasn't much different from what he used to do. If he didn't come back at this hour, it meant that he wouldn't be coming back. There was no need for Lin Yi to wait any longer. You're leaving?" Xiao Xiao saw that Lin Yi was about to leave, and she was a little annoyed. This guy saw her naked and then left. What was he trying to do? Lin Yi nodded and walked out of Xiao Xiao's room, leaving only his back view behind. Xiao Xiao stomped her feet. "Stupid Lin Yi, I'll dig your eyeballs out and stomp on them." She was angry, but she remembered that Lin Yi had complimented her figure, and she was a little happy. Her figure wasn't bad. Lin Yi wasn't interested in her. Given time, she might be able to capture Lin Yi's heart, right? With that thought, Xiao Xiao was happy once more, especially since the picture she took just now was her ace in the hole. If Tang Yun saw it, Lin Yi would be done for. Lin Yi didn't know what Xiao Xiao was thinking, and he didn't have the time to think about it. He started checking his strength after he left Songjiang International Hotel. Golden class early phase. A smile appeared on Lin Yi's face. It took him almost 5 years to go from a normal person to a golden class early phase, but now, it only took him a few hours. It seemed like Jiao Yazi was right. He didn't lose his level, but his energy. His strength would recover as well. Golden class early phase wasn't very strong, but it was still enough to protect himself. Lin Yi hailed a taxi and went back to his hotel. Fatty Lai and Guan Shuamin were still awake. They were drinking in the room, an old man and a young man. They didn't have much to talk about, but they had a common topic, Lin Yi and the medical company, so the atmosphere wasn't awkward. Fatty Lai saw Lin Yi enter and said, "Boss, you're back? Do you want to drink with us?" "Let's drink then." Lin Yi didn't reject. One of them was an elder, and the other was his follower, but the medical company still relied on him in the future. Fatty Lai said it casually, not expecting Lin Yi to agree. He was stunned when Lin Yi agreed. Lin Yi, on the other hand, was already sitting over. He'd been watching Xiao Xiao eat at the hotel, and he hadn't eaten anything at all. He really was a little hungry now. "I'll eat something first. You guys drink first." Lin Yi saw that there were still some dumplings on the table, so he put them in front of him and started wolfing them down. "Boss, you didn't eat." Fatty Lai was shocked. He thought that Lin Yi went out to eat. He didn't expect him to eat like a hungry wolf. "Ha!" Lin Yi smiled. "I did, but there was a girl with a big appetite. She finished them all by herself." "Ooh." Fatty Lai's eyes widened. "Don't tell me it's that Xiao Xiao?" "Yeah, that's her." Lin Yi didn't hide it. "Oh. I wonder what her background is. Even Wu Gongao is afraid of her dad." Naturally, Fatty Lai had an impression of Xiao Xiao. He was a businessman, so he would always remember these powerful people in his heart. "Ha, I'm friends with her dad, but don't ask about her background." Lin Yi waved his hand. "It's a secret." Lin Yi and Fatty Lai hadn't known each other for long, So Lin Yi couldn't trust him completely. He could tell him some things, but he couldn't tell him some things. But Xu Amin understood Lin Yi's words. He knew about the relationship between Lin Yi and Yang Huaijuan, and when he thought about how Gongao addressed Tianlong, he immediately thought about Tianlong's identity. Tianlong was probably a special agent, but he didn't know which department he belonged to. Fatty Lai didn't say anything else. He started discussing the auction with Lin Yi. "Boss, look. This is the list of items for tomorrow's auction. See if there's anything you want." Fatty Lai's invitation was read, so he could only get the list on the day of the auction. Xu Amin, on the other hand, had a gold invitation, so he could get the list in advance. Xu Amin didn't care at first, but when he thought that Lin Yi might need something, he asked for one. "I've looked at the list. The only thing related to medicine is a 1,000-year-old snow lotus," Xu Amin said. "I wonder if it's useful." 1,000-year-old snow lotus? Lin Yi paused. This was a rare item. The 1,000-year-old snow lotus is used in many ancient recipes, and it has unexpected effects when it comes to healing scars. "Oh, does that mean it's useful to us?" Fatty Lai asked excitedly. "Should we get it tomorrow?" "There's no need for that." Lin Yi waved his hand. "The cost is too high. We can't mass produce it." "You're right. One snow lotus really isn't enough." Fatty Lai was a little disappointed. "Hair, for example, the scar healing medicine we're auctioning. The original recipe included a 1,000-year-old snow lotus, but I replaced it with something else," Lin Yi said. "In fact, many of the ingredients in ancient prescriptions are hard to find, but substitutes can be found." "Damn. Boss, you're so amazing." Fatty Lai was full of admiration for Lin Yi's words. "You can even replace that. Does it affect the effect?" "Maybe, maybe not, but I haven't found any." Lin Yi smiled. "It should be negligible." "Boss, you're a miracle doctor." Fatty Lai didn't know much about medicine, but he knew that there were many doctors who could write prescriptions, but doctors who could change prescriptions and find substitutes were few and far between. Xu Amin, too, had a face full of shock. Lin Yi had brought him too many surprises, and it was hard for him to accept all of them. "There's always someone better than you." He used to be called a miracle doctor, but compared to Lin Yi, he was like a frog at the bottom of a well. Chapter 519. Wanianshan Wooden Box. Fatty Lai felt that his decision was wise. It was an honor to be Lin Yi's follower. His brother, that idiot, thought that he was so powerful after getting the electronics industry. He didn't know that the reason why he gave it up was because it was nothing in his eyes. Only by standing at a higher position would one be able to see further and wider. The business he would do with Lin Yi would be much bigger than the electronics industry. Lin Yi flipped through the catalogue in his hands. Most of them were antiques, sculptures, paintings, calligraphy, and the like. Of course, there were also some weird stuff like celebrity dates. But the celebrities on the second day were much more famous than the first. "Oh right, that celebrity Xu Shahan. Is there a date auction?" Lin Yi looked at the list. He didn't know any of them. He thought for a long time and only heard the name Xu Shahan. "Ooh." Fatty Lai smiled bitterly. "Boss, do you like Xu Shahan?" "I don't." Lin Yi shook his head. "I have a friend who likes her. If there's an auction, I'll buy her for them to meet." Lin Yi knew that the Miss and Xu were Xu Shahan's fans, so if there really was such an opportunity in the auction, Lin Yi wouldn't mind bidding for them once. After all, the Miss and Xu treated him quite well. "I see. I thought you liked her." Fatty Lai shook his head and said, "That's true. Boss, if you're a fan of hers, you'd know about her." "Know what?" Lin Yi asked. "Xu Shahan's background. Ever since her debut, there haven't been any scandals. But no one knows her background. But many of those who had designs on her disappeared." Fatty Lai said softly. "Disappeared?" Lin Yi frowned. It seemed that Xu Shahan had a powerful background. If that was the case, Lin Yi didn't want to mess with her. He had enough troubles already. If she chased after him, he wouldn't be able to do anything else. Yeah, disappeared. Maybe she ran away after being threatened, or maybe she disappeared from the face of the earth. Fatty Lai said. "It's not a secret in the upper class." "Forget it then, I'm not interested in her anyway. With that, Lin Yi went back to looking at the auction catalogue. Fatty Lai saw that Lin Yi wasn't interested, so he didn't say anything else. Otherwise, he would have warned Lin Yi again. Although his boss was powerful, Xu Shahan wasn't someone to be messed with. Suddenly, Lin Yi's eyes stopped on a page. It was the Millennium Snow Lotus that Fatty Lai talked about. But what caught Lin Yi's attention wasn't the Millennium Snow Lotus. It was the box that contained it. Fatty Lai saw that Lin Yi's eyes stopped on the Millennium Snow Lotus. He thought that Lin Yi was interested in it, so he introduced. This was found in a cave. It's been a while. I heard that some herbs and medical books were found at the same time. But this Millennium Snow Lotus is one of the most valuable. Starting price of 5 million? Lin Yi looked at the catalogue. What's the final price? Yes, starting price is 5 million, but it's hard to estimate the final price. Fatty Lai shook his head. This kind of thing is a special kind of item. If someone needs it, the price will be very high. But if no one needs it, it won't get a good price. Oh. Lin Yi nodded. Let's bid for it tomorrow. Boss, didn't you say that it's useless? Fatty Lai nodded, but he was still confused. Heh, that snow lotus is useless. I want that box. Lin Yi pointed at the box with the snow lotus on the catalogue. Box? Fatty Lai was taken aback, but he didn't ask anything. He nodded. Okay, I'll try my best. Forget it if it's more than 100 million, Lin Yi said. This box was probably made from the trunk of a tree called Wanianshan wood. After putting the herbs inside, it could maintain the medicinal properties for 10,000 years. Not only that, but it could also accelerate the ripening and purification of some herbs. However, this was something that Lin Yi had read from an ancient book left behind by his old man. The things that were mentioned in the ancient book were almost mythical herbs that he had never heard of before. They didn't even exist in the modern world. Back then, Lin Yi only read it as an entertainment magazine. He didn't think that he'd encounter something like that in an ancient book, but Lin Yi only had a vague impression of it. He felt that the picture of the box on the auction list was similar to the Wanianshan wood in the ancient book. He couldn't be sure if the two were the same thing. Moreover, the ancient book only introduced the properties of the items. It only had a few words about each item, and the usage of the items weren't even mentioned in detail. Lin Yi was just curious when he saw it and asked Fatty Lai to bid for it. As for whether he could bid for it or not, Lin Yi didn't really care. Even if he bid for it, Lin Yi didn't know if it would be useful or not, let alone how to use it. It was just for fun. If it was cheap, he could study it. Okay, I'll try. Fatty Lai nodded and remembered Lin Yi's request in his heart. As for the other auction items, Lin Yi wasn't too interested. He flipped through them and put them aside. Dr. Kang's special edition golden creation, is it being auctioned tomorrow? Yes, their golden creation is for tomorrow. Fatty Lai nodded and laughed. If nothing goes wrong, I'm afraid it will be sold out. Why don't we auction the special edition injury medicine tomorrow? To cause trouble for them? Forget it, don't worry about them. Lin Yi waved his hand. This small amount of money wasn't a big deal to House Kang. Lin Yi naturally had no interest in fighting with them. Then let's ignore them. Boss, come, let's drink. Fatty Lai saw that Lin Yi had finished reading the list and finished the dumplings, so he poured a glass of wine for Lin Yi and raised it. Boss, let's drink till we're drunk. To celebrate our company's great victory. Chapter 520. House Kang and his grandson in a hotel near the Yangjing auction site. Dr. Kang sat on the sofa, sulking. He'd spent 430 million on a pill of life extension and toxin cleansing, but Liu Tianyi and Haitian had only spent 280 million. Wasn't the difference a little too big? But there was nothing he could do about it. Who asked him to make such a mistake? He thought that when the first pill of life extension and toxin cleansing was auctioned, it would be Liu Tianyi and Fatty Lai bidding randomly. The second pill of life extension and toxin cleansing would be cheaper. It wasn't that Dr. Kang was being ridiculous, but this was the usual situation in auctions. It was the same for his family's golden creation. In the beginning, it could be sold for 500,000, But in the end, it could only be sold for 300,000 to 400,000. Who would have thought that the second pill of life extension and toxin cleansing would be won by someone from House U, and the price was also 280 million. This made Dr. Kang a little anxious. He knew that the pill was indeed worth this price. However, he didn't dare compete with House U. After all, whether or not his family could be recognized as a noble house depended on House U. And so, Dr. Kang could only wait for the third pill of life extension and toxin cleansing. Unfortunately, Fatty Lai had also set his sights on the third pill of life extension and toxin cleansing. He actually bid 400 million for it. This made Dr. Kang want to vomit blood, but there was nothing he could do. In the end, when he thought about the value of each pill of life extension and toxin cleansing and the long-term benefits it could bring to the family, Dr. Kang had no choice but to spend 430 million to buy the last pill of life extension and toxin cleansing. If they could really figure out the components of the pill, it would bring great benefits to the family. 430 million was practically all of House Kang's liquid fund. House Kang's liquid funds were only around 500 million, and they'd used up more than 80% of it. Fortunately, there was an item to be auctioned tomorrow. If they could get it, it would bring them an unexpected amount of profit. Thinking of this, Dr. Kang felt a little comforted. Suddenly, there was a knock on the door. Dr. Kang frowned and asked, "Who is it?" "Grandpa, it's me, Jiaolong." Jiaolong rushed back to the hotel. He wanted to tell his grandpa about how he befriended House Wu today. "Come in. The door isn't locked." Dr. Kang let him in as soon as he heard it was Jiaolong. Jiaolong walked in and closed the door behind him, locking it from the inside. "Why did you lock the door?" Dr. Kang was puzzled. "Grandpa, I have something important to tell you." Jiaolong lowered his voice and walked quickly to Dr. Kang's side, sitting on the sofa beside him. "Something big. What is it?" Dr. Kang asked. "Today, I've successfully befriended Wu Chentian from House Wu." Jiaolong told Miracle Dr. Kang everything that happened today, including how he met Lin Yi and Xiao Xiao, and how he helped Chentian take pictures. He didn't leave out any of it. Dr. Kang listened to Jiaolong and fell into deep thought. After a while, he nodded. "Jiaolong, you did well. 15 million, it was worth it to spend it. With Chentian's flamboyant personality, you'll be able to use this to build a good relationship with him." "Yeah, Grandpa. With House Wu's help, can we start thinking about becoming a noble house?" Jiaolong asked carefully. "Becoming a noble house?" Dr. Kang took a deep breath and looked at his grandson, surprised. He didn't expect his grandson to be even more ambitious than he was. He'd just befriended House Wu, and now he was thinking about becoming a noble house. House Wu has a very special position among the noble houses. If Gongao were to speak up and support us, no one would object. Even House Yu would have to think about the weight of a mystic. Jiaolong continued. "My relationship with Chentian right now is just a relationship of benefits. I paid for him, and he's grateful to me now. He's willing to help me with some things, but I'm afraid that he'll forget about it as time goes by. We might as well strike the iron while it's hot and make it work." "What you said makes sense." Dr. Kang nodded. "If I didn't finish reading the catalogue for tomorrow, I'd have to seriously consider your suggestion. But now, we can really give it a try." "Oh, catalogue. Is there anything in the catalogue that's beneficial to House Kang?" Jiaolong paused. "Yes. And it's very beneficial." Miracle Dr. Kang nodded. "Our family's golden creation actually has more effects than just this. It can also remove old scars on the skin, giving the skin a brand new look." "I know that, but isn't there an ingredient that's very rare?" Jiaolong was in charge of House Kang's laboratory, so he knew a thing or two about golden creation. "That's right. But it's in the auction tomorrow," Miracle Dr. Kang said as he pointed at the catalogue in his hand. "Oh." Jiaolong paused. He quickly took the catalogue from his grandpa and flipped it open. He was shocked. Millennium Snow Lotus? Is there really such a thing? Of course. This kind of herb must have been appraised before it could be sold in an auction like this. Otherwise, it'd be bad for House Yu's reputation if there's a fake one, Miracle Dr. Kang said. "We must have this 1,000-year-old snow lotus. Miracle Doctor Kang continued. But, Grandpa, even if we manage to make this golden creation, what does it have to do with fighting for the position of a noble house? Jiaolong paused. He couldn't understand the connection between the two. A medicine that removes scars naturally can't compare to the pill of life extension and toxin cleansing, but it's still a miraculous medicine. Dr. Kang smiled. As long as we use it well, it'll be very beneficial to our house. Oh, Grandpa, you're saying that we should use this golden creation for public relations? Jiaolong naturally understood what his grandpa meant. He just couldn't figure out what this special golden creation could do. Chapter 521. Kang Xiaolong's Treachery Miracle Elixir? Jiaolong paused and understood what his grandpa meant. That's right. Which woman doesn't want to look good? It's unavoidable to have scars growing up. The scars on the body are fine, but the scars on the face are more serious. These women of noble houses will definitely ask for this elixir if they know about it. It doesn't matter if they ask for it or act coquettishly. This way, House Kang will naturally become a noble house. That's right. This is an opportunity. I was thinking about how to use this opportunity. Dr. Kang smiled. If it's just this opportunity, it's not enough. But you've got House Wu's support. This is like adding wings to a tiger. With these two added together, we won't have to worry about them not agreeing to let us become a noble house. That's great. Jiaolong was a little excited. If that's the case, then I don't need to maintain a good relationship with that Wang Xinyan anymore. She's quite pretty, but House Xiao's really done for, and Wang Xinyan isn't technically a part of House Xiao. If House Kang can really become a noble house, then I can find someone more suitable. Yeah, that's true. Jiaolong, you're not bad. You know how to prioritize the family's interests and the big picture, Dr. Kang said. You're a man of great deeds. Grandpa, I'm the eldest grandson of House Kang. Naturally, I have to prioritize the family's interest. Jiaolong said. It's a bit of a pity. That Wang Xinyan girl is quite attractive. It's not bad to play with her, but Xiao family may be down and out, but they're still a noble house. You can't get rid of them just because you play with them. It's best to stay away from them. That's right. Miracle Doctor Kang nodded as well. Your brother's pretty clear-cut on that he plays with women, but they're all women with no background or power. He'll be able to deal with them when the time comes. It's just that he's been spoiled since he was young. Haha, Grandpa, I actually think that Jiaoming might not be a bad thing for House Kang, Jiaolong said. There are some things that we can't do, but Jiaoming can. Oh! Dr. Kang was taken aback. He looked at his eldest grandson in confusion, not understanding what he meant. Jiaolong, are you afraid that Jiaoming will fight you for the position of the family head? Of course not. Jiaolong smiled. If Jiaoming really is that kind of material, then I'll step down and let him be. I'll be the head of the house, and I won't ostracize him. As long as House Kang prospers, we won't mistreat his bloodline. What I said before is true. Xiaolong's words surprised Dr. Kang a little. This was the first time his grandson was sharing his heart with him, telling him about his ambitions and thoughts for the future of House Kang and Kang Mingming. I'm glad that you think that way. Tell me, why isn't it a bad thing for Jiaoming? Dr. Kang asked curiously. That Lin Yi is not simple. I don't know his background, but from the way he hangs out with Guan Shuamin and Lai Changyi, he's not a good guy, Jiaolong said. And Guan Shuamin has created a miracle Dr. Guan medical company, a pill of life extension and toxin cleansing. Who knows what other products he has in store? House Kang is at a disadvantage. Yeah. Motherfucker, I get angry just mentioning it. Dr. Kang said angrily. Isn't he copying me and stealing our business? Yes, but I heard that Guan Shuamin has a pretty granddaughter. She's a nurse in the hospital, about the same age as Jiaoming, Jiaolong said faintly. You're saying? Dr. Kang paused. You're letting your brother marry Guan Shuamin's granddaughter? Marriage? Is House Guan worthy? Guan Shuamin's position is higher than House Kang's, and in the eyes of outsiders, he's a real miracle doctor, higher than you, Grandpa. But in my eyes, it's just a temporary glory, Jiaolong said disdainfully. It's just a dream. When Guan Shuamin burps one day, House Guan will be done for. You're quite clear on this, aren't you? I didn't even think of that. Miracle Dr. Kang burst into laughter. Haha, I was still thinking about it, but now that you've mentioned it, I've gotten over it. Yeah, so marriage with House Guan is out of the question. But before Guan Shuamin dies, let Zhao Ming mess with his granddaughter and get some insider information. It'll be very beneficial for House Kang, and we might even get our hands on the secret recipe, Zhao Long said. Oh, that works. Dr. Kang's eyes widened. He'd always thought that he was very cunning, but he realized that his eldest grandson was even more of a sarcastic person. Why not? Zhao Ming has always been a master of love. What kind of woman can't he handle? Let him handle this, Zhao Long said. In the future, even if I become the head of the house, I'll give him half of the asset. As long as he gets this big credit. Miracle Dr. Kang nodded. This was the first time he'd learned of his grandson's intentions and plans. Miracle Dr. Kang didn't have to worry since he'd made his stance clear. Although House Kang was growing stronger by the day, Miracle Dr. Kang was afraid that Zhao Long and Zhao Ming would fight for power after he passed away, causing House Kang to fall apart. But now, with Zhao Long's words, he could leave House Kang in Zhao Long's hand. With that thought, Dr. Kang said, "All right. We need to think about this carefully. We can't act rashly. We can only do it after the research is done." Yes, I'm just talking about Zhao Ming. Actually, in every big house, there's always someone who's close to being a playboy. Are they really playboys? Some of them might really be good-for-nothings, but some of them might have been specially nurtured, Zhao Long said. And these playboys, will let them do things that others wouldn't normally do. Yeah, you're pretty smart, kid. Miracle Dr. Kang nodded. A normal person wouldn't be able to chase after Shuamin's granddaughter. It'd be a huge loss to the family's reputation, but if Zhao Ming were to do it, no one would say anything because he's a spoiled brat to begin with. If he did it, then he did it. It's always been like this, but this time it's a bit too much. Haha, Grandpa, that's what I meant. Zhao Long nodded. Chapter 522. Becoming a noble house. All right, Grandpa, I'll go rest now. Zhao Long knew that he had achieved his goal with what he had said today. It seemed like he was speaking from the bottom of his heart, but he was doing it on purpose. If House Kang really became a noble house, then Kang Ming would definitely try to compete with him for the position of the head of the house. Zhao Long had made his stance clear to Dr. Kang, letting him know that he wouldn't mistreat Kang Ming if he became the head of the house. Plus, Kang Ming wasn't completely useless. With this, Dr. Kang would inevitably pass the position to Zhao Long, because Kang Ming had already been defined by the house and would be raised to be a spoiled brat. He would lose the right to compete for the position of head of the house. How could a spoiled brat become the head of the house? Zhao Long turned around and walked out of Dr. Kang's room. He laughed coldly and walked back to his own room. Noble house wasn't Zhao Long's ultimate goal anymore. His goal was to become a martial arts noble house. That was the only way he could stand firm and not be eliminated. The next morning, Dr. Kang rushed to the auction house with Zhao Long. The auction house wasn't open during the day, but they should be able to contact House Yu here. Chen Tian received a call from Zhao Long early in the morning. He thought that it was Zhao Long asking him for money, and he was shocked. He looked at the number on his phone, hesitating whether he should answer or not. His grandpa had just woken up in the middle of the night. Although Gongao was a martial arts practitioner and fainted from anger, Chen Tian didn't dare to talk about money again. He was afraid that his grandpa would faint again. So he could only put this matter aside for now. When he saw the call from Zhao Long, he didn't know whether he should answer or not. He was a person who cared about his reputation, especially when this was a great opportunity to show off. How could he back down? But to be honest, he didn't dare to answer. What if Zhao Long really wanted the money? If he said that he couldn't return the money now, wouldn't he lose face? Don't even talk about being pretentious, people would laugh their heads off. But that was 15 million. Anyone would feel the pinch if they lost that much money, especially since Zhao Long had borrowed so much from him in private. There was no guarantee that he wouldn't get scolded by Dr. Kang when he got back. Chen Tian gritted his teeth and picked up the phone. He was a loyal man, and he couldn't let people look down on him. Even if he was beaten until his face was swollen, he still had to pretend to be fat. "Hello, brother Jiaolong. I was just thinking about calling you." Cheng Tian was afraid that Jiaolong would mention the money, so he decided to strike first. "Let me tell you, I'll pay you back for yesterday's meal when we get back. I don't have my bank card with me here." "Oh, that money? Don't worry." Jiaolong paused, figuring out what Cheng Tian was thinking. He was a person who was good at observing and analyzing others, but on the surface, he appeared to be very obedient, making people feel that he was very harmless. "We're brothers, so how can you cheat me? I didn't even think about it. Let's talk about it when we get back." One had to admit that Jiaolong had a way with words. Not only did he buy Cheng Tian's favor, but he also didn't say that he didn't want the money. Instead, he pointed out that Cheng Tian had to return the money. "You're the boss, and you're so powerful, you won't lack money from a lackey like me." But it was enough to give Cheng Tian face. "Yeah. I knew you wouldn't doubt my character, my little brother. What a straightforward person. Brother, you're a true friend of mine." As expected, Cheng Tian was moved to tears and fell into the trap. He felt that Jiaolong was really a loyal person, and he had to return the money even if he had to sell everything he had. He couldn't let a brother like this down. "Haha, of course, I see bro Cheng Tian as my boss," Jiaolong said. "Boss, you have to protect me." Of course. Cheng Tian said straightforwardly. "Right, bro Cheng Tian, Grandpa and I were invited to House Yu's auction today to discuss about House Kang becoming a noble house. Although it's basically a done deal, we still feel a little guilty," Jiaolong said. "Bro Cheng Tian, can you come with me to boost my courage? With you, the heir of House Wu, we won't be afraid anymore." "No problem." Cheng Tian agreed immediately. He didn't have to do anything himself, he just needed to boost his courage. Of course he would accept, and he could even show off in front of his lackeys. Why not? "All right, Boss Cheng Tian, I'll be waiting for you at the auction." Xiaolong's way of addressing Cheng Tian had changed to Boss Cheng Tian, and this made Cheng Tian very happy. Dr. Kang listened to the conversation between Xiaolong and Cheng Tian. This grandson was really brave and smart, and his words were flawless. Not only did he make Cheng Tian grateful, but he also pointed out that the debt of 15 million must be returned. Xiaolong's words also made Dr. Kang look at him in a different light. This brat actually said that the Kang family's promotion to an aristocratic family was already a done deal. Was he simply lying with his eyes wide open? He hadn't even contacted House Yu yet, and they were still far away from the noble house. How could Xiaolong say something like that? But Dr. Kang knew Xiaolong's goal. If he directly said that he wanted to talk to House Yu about becoming a noble house, Cheng Tian would probably be hesitant. After all, his appearance meant that House Wu was supporting House Kang. House Wu had a special position among the noble houses. Wu Gongao was a mystic, and that was enough to make people respect him. So if Cheng Tian supported House Kang becoming a noble house, then this matter would be in the bag. After all, House Yu was powerful, but they didn't need to offend House Wu. If House Kang really had the right, then they might as well go with the flow and let House Wu owe them a favor. This was a very clever move. In fact, this was something that Xiaolong had purposely done in front of Dr. Kang to make Dr. Kang feel at ease. In fact, he had achieved his goal. Miracle Dr. Kang looked at Xiaolong with satisfaction and nodded. "Xiaolong, I was wondering who would take over House Kang's business, since you're developing in the academic world and not in the management field. I'm finally at ease now." Chapter 523. House Kang's trump Cardone had to admit that Xiaolong's idea was a good one. Haitian didn't want to see House Kang when he heard that they wanted to see him. House Yu knew what House Kang was planning. House Kang had grown stronger over the years, and they even had a marriage alliance with Xiao family. House Yu was aware of this. House Kang couldn't wait to join the ranks of the noble houses. After all, the benefits of becoming a noble house wasn't as simple as fame. More importantly, the noble houses would always communicate with each other and share resources. They would give each other face, and there would be countless small salons and gatherings every year. House Kang's conditions were enough to become a small noble house, but this wasn't something that could be achieved easily. It involved the distribution of benefits and balance. Having one more noble house would cause more trouble. House Yu wanted to weaken the other noble houses, so how could they let someone else in? However, Haitian hesitated when he heard that House Kang and the third-generation heir of House Wu came together. This time, the Kang family must have come to discuss the matter of becoming an aristocratic family. But at this time, they brought the Wu family. What did this mean? Could it be that House Wu was on House Kang's side, supporting them to become a noble house? Second uncle, what do you think? Haitian was in a difficult position. He couldn't make the decision himself, so he went to ask someone in the family who could. Let them in. Let's see what they say. The middle-aged man listened to Haitian's explanation and nodded. House Kang must become a noble house. Even if we stop them, they'll try their best. Since they've gotten House Wu's help, we might as well see what they have up their sleeves. If they really have something that we're interested in, we might as well give House Kang and House Wu some face. But if they don't have anything good, even if we agree, the other noble houses might not. You have to know that this is a decision made by the 5 noble houses. House Wu alone can't make the decision. We don't need to care about the 4 small noble houses. Haitian paused. He was a peripheral member of House Yu, so he didn't have much contact with the core members. That was why he asked this question. It's not that we don't need to bother with them, but since House Yu has agreed, they won't object, the middle-aged man said faintly, but his words were filled with confidence. All right, I'll call them in now. What about you, uncle? Yu Haitian asked carefully. I won't show up. Don't agree or refuse. Let's see their conditions first. The middle-aged man said, if it's okay, I'll send you a message. Yes, second uncle. Haitian nodded and left the inner room. He came to the living room and said to the subordinate who came to report, bring them in. After a while, Dr. Kang brought Jiaolong and Chengtian to the guest room. Haitian stood up and welcomed them warmly. Dr. Kang, Master Wu, Master Kang, welcome. You're too kind, Mr. Yu. Although Dr. Kang was an elder, he didn't dare to neglect the people of House Yu. Haitian may only be a peripheral member of House Yu, but he still had an important position in the family. Dr. Kang, the auction will start at night. I wonder what brings you here at this time. Is there a new auction item that you want to sell to us? Haitian was an expert at acting dumb. If Dr. Kang didn't bring it up, he wouldn't bring it up. Haha, that's right. This time, we do want to add another auction item. Dr. Kang was an experienced man. He nodded, but this auction item is a pre-sale item. Pre-sale item? Haitian paused. He was just asking casually. He didn't expect Dr. Kang to really want to auction an item, and a pre-sale item at that. This made him curious. Could it be that Dr. Kang wasn't here to study the noble houses? Yes. After my grandson and I, Jiaolong, worked tirelessly and overcame many difficulties, we finally developed the upgraded product that we wanted to enter the auction, Skin Beautifying Golden Creation. Dr. Kang said. Skin Beautifying Golden Creation? Haitian repeated the name Dr. Kang said. The name was a little long and a little hard to pronounce, but that wasn't the point. The point was, who could use this medicine? Seeing Haitian's confused expression, Dr. Kang smiled and explained, this medicine is as the name suggests. Skin Beautifying Golden Creation not only has the basic effect of golden creation, but it also has the effect of beautifying the skin. The magic of Jinchuang medicine was that it could heal wounds quickly without leaving scars. This skin beautifying Jinchuang medicine could repair some old scars and completely remove these old scars. Of course, this is only the main effect. There are many auxiliary effects, such as beautifying the skin, improving the skin tone, removing dull skin, shrinking pores, and so on. As the person in charge of the auction, Haitian naturally had a keen business sense. When he heard Dr. Kang's introduction, he knew that this medicine was definitely not simple. Once it appeared, it would definitely cause a rush to buy it. It might even exceed the ordinary golden creation. For those women who loved beauty, it was simply a trump card. Dr. Kang really lives up to his name. He can even develop such a magical thing. Haitian praised. Miracle Dr. Kang, I wonder if you're thinking of auctioning this miraculous medicine in this auction? Yes. However, I have just developed it, and it is still in the trial stage. The production rate and success rate are very low. I can only take out 2 pre-sale items for auction. Dr. Kang nodded and said, 2? So few. Haitian was stunned. When he heard Dr. Kang mention this medicine, he thought that it could be mass-produced. The reason why it was auctioned at the auction was to let the bidders be the first to use this magical medicine. However, it seemed that it wasn't the case. Yes, although we have a few dozen trial-produced portions, you also know that our Kang family has a lot of friends. Most of them are given to our friends, so there are only 2 left for auction, Dr. Kang said exaggeratedly. Chapter 524. Chapter 524. Another miracle, Doctor, I see. 2 is not a small amount then. Yu Haitian nodded and said, then this skin-beautifying golden creation will be the finale of today's auction. Let's keep it for tonight. Thank you, Mr. Yu. Miracle Dr. Kang was very satisfied with this decision. The last item the auction house brought out was basically used to stabilize the situation. Dr. Kang, if there's nothing else, please tell the staff about the effects of this skin-beautifying golden creation, as well as when you can get it. I'll be taking my leave, Haitian said with a smile. Haha, no rush. There's one more thing that I hope Mr. Yu can help me with. Miracle Dr. Kang, on the other hand, stopped Haitian and stopped him from leaving. Oh, is there anything else? Haitian asked, even though he already knew the answer. It's like this. House Kang has done a lot for everyone these past few years. Mr. Yu, could you recommend us to the 5 noble houses and the 4 small noble houses annual meeting so that we can be promoted to a noble house? Miracle Dr. Kang said word by word as he looked at Haitian. He didn't believe that Haitian didn't do his research before he came. He had already stated his conditions, and it depended on House Yu's attitude. Of course, I can recommend you. Haitian had already received his uncle's message. Since House Kang had such a good item as their trump card, there was no need for House Yu to stop them. But, although House Yu is the host of the noble house meeting, whether or not House Kang can become a noble house depends on the other noble houses. Haitian had already received his uncle's message. Haha, of course we know that, Mr. Yu. But, as long as House Yu doesn't object and recommends us, wouldn't we have a higher chance of winning? Dr. Kang smiled. Right, Jiaolong has acknowledged Chentian as his big brother, so naturally, House Wu wouldn't object. Dr. Kang was quite smooth with his words. He didn't say that House Wu would support it, only that they wouldn't oppose it. This way, Chentian wouldn't think that he was overstepping his authority. Of course. My little brother's business is my business. Why would I object? Chentian patted his chest confidently. I, Chentian, have a lot of friends, but my only true brother is Jiaolong. He's my real brother. Chentian felt that in front of his follower, Jiaolong, he needed to show off his dominance to move him. That way, he'd be able to increase his level of arrogance. At that time, when a new pretentious B***starred Wu Taizu appeared in front of Sun Jingyi, wouldn't he be able to capture her heart easily? Chentian felt very proud of himself at the thought. The meal yesterday was expensive, but it was worth it. Not only did he get a hold of Lin Yi's weakness, but he also learned how to act cool through Xiao Xiao, and what was even rarer was that he got a follower like this. Life was simply too wonderful. What luck! Chentian felt like he was about to become the lucky main character in a novel. All the good things in the world had been taken by him. Haitian's face changed. Wu Chentian's presence here naturally represented House Wu's stance, but he didn't expect Chentian to speak out in support of House Kang so obviously. This was out of his expectations. Chentian's words also explained a lot of things. His only true brother was Jiaolong. What did that mean? Were House Kang and House Wu this close? Haitian hadn't interacted much with Chentian, and naturally, he didn't know that the guy was a spoiled brat. His martial arts weren't weak, but his personality was a bit impulsive. From Haitian's perspective, Chentian was a golden class early phase master at such a young age, and his future was limitless. He was definitely the leader of the 3rd generation of House Wu, the future heir. His words naturally represented House Wu. Haitian didn't know that Chentian was a golden class master, yes, but he was a golden class master at such a young age, and it was inevitable that he was arrogant and arrogant. He was spoiled rotten by Gongao, and his only way to solve problems was to use force. As a result, he didn't know that he was being used by Jiaolong. Haha, since young Master Wu supports it, then there shouldn't be too much of a problem for House Kang to become a noble house. Heishan smiled. Of course, since House Yu has nominated House Kang, we will naturally support it. If that's the case, then thank you very much. Dr. Kang saw that his goal was achieved, and he didn't say anything else. He chatted with Heishan a bit more before going to discuss the auction with the staff. Jiaolong, on the other hand, went to have dinner with Chen Tian. With this relationship, he wouldn't be Jiaolong if he didn't take advantage of the situation. In these 2 days, Jiaolong had achieved the first step of his life's goal of planning and progress. He pretended to reveal his heart, fooled his grandpa, and successfully grasped House Wu's relationship with him. House Kang's promotion to noble house was basically a done deal. How could Jiaolong not be happy? The only regret was that he didn't want to part with Wang Xinyan, but he had no choice. This Wang Xinyan wasn't someone he could play with casually, and if he didn't want her, it would bring trouble to House Kang. Although House Xiao was down and out, a starving camel was still bigger than a horse. Jiaolong didn't want to bring trouble to House Kang. Forget it. Who knew which bastard would take advantage of such a flower in the future? Jiaolong shook his head and went to have fun with Chen Tian, throwing the matter of Wang Xinyan to the back of his mind. But this way, Wang Xinyan had peace. Without Jiaolong's harassment, life returned to normal. Not long after Miracle Dr. Kang left, Heishan was in the middle of a discussion with his uncle about House Kang when his confidant called again. Heishan frowned. Why were there so many things happening today? But he still picked up the phone. What's up? I'm busy. Heishan told him about his situation first. His meaning was clear. If you don't have anything important, you can talk to me later. Mr. Yu, Mr. Lai Changyi and Professor Guan Shuamin from Miracle Dr. Guan's medical company, as well as a young gentleman, are here. They want to see you, his confidant reported. Chapter 525. Shocked to death, the middle-aged man from House Yu, Yu Heishan's second uncle, was stunned as well. Why was Guan Shuamin here? He wasn't surprised by the 2 miracle doctors appearing at the same time, but by the fact that Guan Shuamin would come here personally to meet with House Yu. Guan Shuamin's attitude towards the big houses had always been neutral. He didn't get too close to any of them, but he didn't get too far either. His medical skills were superb, but he played his part. He didn't charge a lot, and he didn't put on airs. Guan Shuamin was highly regarded by all the big houses. Moreover, Guan Shuamin was a person that all the big houses wanted to rope in. After all, who wouldn't get sick when they ate only 5 grains? Knowing a miracle doctor was the same as having a life guarantee. However, Guan Shuamin didn't accept the invitation from any of the big houses, and he wouldn't take the initiative to visit them. House Yu had suggested for House Guan to become a noble house more than once, but Guan Shuamin never agreed. Guan Shuamin knew very well that being a noble house was just a temporary glory. He didn't have a successor, and no one could ensure the prosperity of House Guan for generations to come. Guan Shuamin basically didn't have any feelings for his eldest son's bloodline, and the only heir left was Guan Xin. Girls had to marry eventually, and being a noble house wasn't that important anymore. If his granddaughter found a capable man, she would naturally live a life of wealth. It didn't matter if House Guan was a noble house or not. This was why Shuamin's visit this time surprised House Yu. Second uncle, should I go receive him? Yu Heishan wasn't an idiot. If Dr. Kang was here, he would have to ask his second uncle. But if Miracle Dr. Guan was here, he had to receive him. I'll go with you. The middle-aged man hesitated before standing up. Yu Heishan was taken aback, but he understood immediately. With Guan Shuamin's identity, it was worth it for his second uncle to receive him personally. Even the heir of the hidden house behind House Yu was on par with Guan Shuamin in terms of medical skills. After instructing his men to be respectful, Yu Heishan and his second uncle came to the guest room, and saw Guan Shuamin, Lai Changyi, and Lin Yi walking in together. Professor Guan, what a rare guest. The middle-aged man walked over first and shook Guan Shuamin's hand passionately. His expression was so warm that even Yu Heishan was surprised. Haha, You're the second son of Houseu, right? What was it called? I'm getting old and my memory is getting worse, but sometimes I don't see it. Guan Shuamin, on the other hand, nodded at the middle-aged man calmly. He did not appear overly surprised or enthusiastic. Yeah, I'm Mercury, Shurashing. The middle-aged man didn't seem to mind Shuamin's attitude at all. He was still very enthusiastic. You treated my illness when I was young. Yes, I remember. Guan Shuamin nodded. Mercury. After exchanging greetings with Shuamin, Yu Shurashing turned to Haitian. Haitian, what are you waiting for? This is your Grandpa Guan. Grandpa Guan. Haitian called out respectfully. Guan Shuamin nodded in acknowledgement. He had always been like this. He didn't have much enthusiasm for anyone. It was only in front of Lin Yi that he would be overly enthusiastic. People of learning would usually admire people who were more knowledgeable than themselves, so this was an exception. Professor Guan, what can I do for you to come at this time? Shurashing wouldn't beat around the bush with Guan Shuamin. If he could do it, he would do his best. I'm just here to help out. Lin and I are here to accompany Fatty Lai, Shuamin joked. It was rare for Guan Shuamin to crack a joke, and he changed the way he addressed Lai Chang'e to Fatty Lai. Haha, Professor Guan, you sure know how to joke. Shurashing laughed as well. Chairman Lai, what's the matter? Because of Shuamin, Shurashing was very polite to Lai Chang'e. It was just that he couldn't figure out Lin Yi's identity. He sent Kuan to follow him yesterday, but Lin Yi found out. It's nothing big. Our Miracle Doctor Guan Medical Company is planning to add another item to the auction tomorrow. Fatty Lai said. Oh, there's another item? Haitian's eyes lit up. The reaction from the pill of life extension and toxin cleansing yesterday was unprecedented. If Fatty Lai really had another item to auction, it would be beneficial to the auction. We do, but we didn't bring it out before because we were afraid that people would say we're imitating that Dr. Kang. But we do have an injury medicine that's similar to the Golden Creation, so we're auctioning the special edition tomorrow, Fatty Lai said. Oh, you're auctioning the special edition as well? Haitian's expression was a little strange, but he still said, House Kang has prepared 100 copies of Dr. Kang's special edition for auction tonight. It should be enough to satisfy the demand of the auction. Haitian didn't continue because he trusted Fatty Lai. He knew that Fatty Lai would understand what he was going to say. If they were to auction it tomorrow, there wouldn't be a market for it. The people who should have bought it had already bought it. Although the pill of life extension and toxin cleansing caused a stir, the special edition of the injury medicine wouldn't be the same. I don't know what their special edition Golden Creation does, but our special edition injury medicine has extraordinary effect. Fatty Lai waved his hand and said nonchalantly, I'm not worried about selling good stuff. How can Miracle Dr. Guan Medical Company's product be compared to Dr. Kang's trash? Shurashing understood what was going on and waved his hand. Haitian, you don't have to worry about it. Let's hear the effects of this special edition injury medicine first. Yes, second uncle. Haitian was shocked. Yeah, Miracle Dr. Guan Medical Company's products were so amazing, how could they be compared to Dr. Kang's? Our special edition injury medicine doesn't only have the basic effects of the injury medicine, but it also has the effect of beautifying the skin. Not only could it heal wounds quickly without leaving scars, but it could also repair some old scars and completely remove these old scars. Of course, that's only the main effect. There are many other auxiliary effects, like beautifying the skin, improving the skin tone, removing dark skin, shrinking pores, and so on. Fatty Lai continued. What? Haitian's eyes widened, and Shurashing looked like he'd seen a ghost. Chapter 526. Chapter 526. The same auction item. What's wrong? You don't believe me? Fatty Lai was puzzled by the Yu family's expressions. It's not that we don't believe you. Shurashing smiled bitterly. We're just shocked. Oh, I see. Fatty Lai thought that they were shocked by the special edition injury medicine, but he didn't expect it to be because of something else. There's a total of 20 bottles. The starting price is 500,000. Mr. Yu, you can decide what to do with the rest. 20 bottles. You have it in stock. Haitian's eyes widened. Yes. Fatty Lie almost cursed. What was he supposed to say if he didn't have it? But because of Shurashing's identity, he didn't do anything out of line. Second uncle. What do you think? Haitian looked at Shurashing, troubled. Haha, then let's make it the finale of tomorrow's auction. Shurashing smiled. I think there'll be a rush to buy it. 500,000 is too cheap, 1 million. All right. Yu Haitian heard that his second uncle had made his decision, so he didn't say anything else. 1 million wasn't out of Fatty Lie's expectations. To him, the more expensive the item, the better. He placed the suitcase on the table. The special edition injury medicine is in here. Please check it out, Mr. Yu. As for the introduction, it's all written and placed inside. Haitian opened the suitcase and was taken aback. Was this the special edition injury medicine? Why did these broken white plastic bottles look like spices? This is the special edition? Haitian couldn't help but ask. Haha, it's a last-minute preparation. There's no packaging. Fatty Lie smiled. Haitian was speechless, but he believed that Fatty Lie wouldn't lie to him with trash. This thing should be effective. He nodded. All right, I'll go register it later. After chatting with Fatty Lie for a while, Guan Shuamin, Fatty Lie, and Lin Yi left the auction hall. Shurashing would naturally spare no effort to rope in someone like Guan Shuamin. Moreover, Miracle Dr. Guan's medical company's products weren't ordinary. After sending Guan Shuamin off, Shurashing wanted to laugh. Dr. Kang had brought a skin-beautifying golden creation, and he wanted to use it as a bargaining chip to enter a noble house. If it was any other time, it would have been enough, but Guan Shuamin just had to bring the exact same product. And he had it in stock. If Dr. Kang knew about this, wouldn't he cry? He had wanted to use this to build a relationship, but the other party had already turned it into a product for sale. Who else could he sell his pre-sale product to? Second uncle, today's situation is really complicated. Yu Haitian sighed. Actually, it's nothing for House Kang, Shurashing sighed. It's not Kang. Kangri Doctor Family Kang, Guan 7 Young 6. That's right. Tonight, will the 2 pre-sale products of the skin-beautifying golden creation from the Kang family still be auctioned? Yu Haitian asked. Why wouldn't we? Shurashing smiled. What's wrong with that? We won't buy it. As for the others, they can buy it if they want. You're right, we're just helping them with the auction anyway, it's not our fault if people don't buy it. Haitian nodded. That night, the second auction began. Xiao Xiao called Lin Yi the moment she woke up, but Lin Yi didn't have time to talk to her. He only asked if Tianlong was back yet, and after learning that he wasn't, he rejected Xiao Xiao's suggestion. But, at the auction, he couldn't avoid running into Xiao Xiao again. Lin Yi. Xiao Xiao ran to Lin Yi with 2 bottles of drink, her face a little red as if remembering what happened last night. You're fine now? Lin Yi took the drink from Xiao Xiao. His relationship with Xiao Xiao was a little weird, and Tianlong was involved as well. It gave Lin Yi a headache. Oh, I'm fine. Xiao Xiao shook her head, her usual generosity replaced by shyness. Xiao Xiao's expression made Lin Yi feel even more helpless. He had to admit that Lin Yi was a little moved yesterday, but it was pure lust, not because he liked Xiao Xiao. But Xiao Xiao's condition yesterday made Lin Yi feel weird. He'd never seen anything like this before. Xiao Xiao, we had some issues before, but I saved you yesterday. Lin Yi sighed. I think we'll call it even. Ah. Xiao Xiao blinked, but she understood what Lin Yi meant. Lin Yi didn't want her to take revenge on him anymore. But did she still want to take revenge on him now? If Lin Yi didn't bring it up, Xiao Xiao wouldn't have felt anything. But now that Lin Yi brought it up, Xiao Xiao suddenly realized that her hatred for Lin Yi had lessened. She wasn't screaming for revenge like before, but there were some complicated emotions mixed in. She'd let this Lin Yi guy see her naked, and he didn't say anything. Did he want to let it go just like that? What issues do we have? Didn't we resolve it a long time ago? Xiao Xiao made up her mind and looked at Lin Yi, confused. Xiao Xiao, let's not beat around the bush. What do you want? Lin Yi didn't seem to care about Xiao Xiao's innocence. I like you, I just want to be with you, I don't want to do anything else. Xiao Xiao looked at Lin Yi, wronged. Don't tell me you don't want to be responsible for me anymore. Lin Yi was speechless. He knew that talking to Xiao Xiao wouldn't have any effect, so he just ignored her. Xiao Xiao wasn't angry. Lin Yi ignored her, and she just flipped through the catalogue in her hands. The lights gradually dimmed, and the spotlights on the auction stage lit up. Yu Haitian walked out from behind the curtain, bowed politely, and said, "Welcome to the second round of the auction." Lin Yi wasn't interested in most of the auction items. Other than some expensive antiques, there were some famous celebrities dating, and some jewelry. Finally, it was the Wani Anshan box that Lin Yi was interested in. Fatty Lai, who was about to fall asleep, sat up straight with a bang. Lin Yi found it funny. This guy was a genius. Was this even possible? Chapter 527. Cheating others. The auction continued, but it wasn't as heated as the pill of life extension and toxin cleansing the day before. Although the items being auctioned weren't cheap, there weren't many bidders, and the bidding wasn't intense either. Many people gave up after seeing that there were people fighting over the items. It wasn't something that could be taken or not, and there wasn't a need to ruin their relationship over these things. These people are really rich. Xiao Xiao couldn't help but click her tongue when she heard the tens of millions. I could buy a Ferrari with just a little bit of it. Didn't you cheat Wu Chentian enough yesterday? Lin Yi said, amused. Heh heh. Who told him to mess with me? Xiao Xiao said matter-of-factly. I cheated him a lot. He's lucky I didn't teach him a lesson. Hey. Right, Lin Yi, why did you come to the auction? You and them. Xiao Xiao didn't think much about it before, but when she remembered that Fatty Lai called Lin Yi boss, her eyes widened. You're that Fatty's boss? A few black lines appeared on Lin Yi's forehead. He was a little speechless. He'd neglected the fact that Xiao Xiao was beside him, and he hadn't told Fatty Lai what to watch out for, and now Xiao Xiao saw through him. That Fatty's the CEO of a pharmaceutical company. He saw that I'm strong, so he wanted to be my follower, Lin Yi explained. Oh, I see. That Fatty seems to be very rich. Xiao Xiao narrowed her eyes at Fatty Lai. Hey, Fatty, I'm your sis-in-law. Aren't you going to give me a gift? What? Fatty Lai's eyes widened as he looked at Lin Yi, confused. Ignore her, she's sick. Lin Yi waved his hand, gesturing for Fatty Lai to ignore Xiao Xiao. Fatty Lai laughed dryly and turned his head away, wondering if this girl had anything to do with his boss. That's all. He seems to listen to you a lot. Don't tell me you have a share in that pharmaceutical company. Xiao Xiao wasn't stupid. Naturally, she didn't believe Lin Yi's words. Was it just martial arts that could make that Fatty listen to her like that? That doesn't seem possible, right? Lin Yi ignored her and turned his attention to the auction stage. The next auction item was the Millennium Snow Lotus, but Lin Yi's target was the box that contained the Snow Lotus. TSK. If you don't want to say it, then I won't. Xiao Xiao was a little embarrassed that Lin Yi was ignoring her again. Why was she so bad in his eyes? How was Tang Yun stronger than him? The next auction item is a 1,000-year-old Snow Lotus. The auctioneer slowly placed a delicate wooden box on the stage and said slowly, I believe everyone knows the uses of the Millennium Snow Lotus, so I don't need to explain. Everyone knows that a Snow Lotus is rare even in 100 years, let alone a Millennium Snow Lotus. This 1,000-year-old Snow Lotus was found in a cave. It's been around for a long time. When it was found, it was stored in this box. After being identified by experts, the age of this Snow Lotus is at least 1,000 years. The auctioneer went on and on about the origin of the Millennium Snow Lotus. In fact, all of this was stated in the auction booklet, and the auctioneer just repeated it in his own words. The starting price of the Millennium Snow Lotus is 5 million. Let the bidding begin. The auctioneer finished and waited for the people to start bidding. This 1,000-year Snow Lotus caused a moment of silence. Although most people had heard of the 1,000-year Snow Lotus, they didn't know how to use it. They weren't researching medicine. Even if they spent 5 million to buy it, it would probably be useless. So most people were just watching, but at this moment, someone called out a price. 6 million. Kang Guifeng stood up and raised his paddle, calling out a price that wasn't too high. As far as he was concerned, there shouldn't be many people competing for the Millennium Snow Lotus, or even none at all. Fatty Lai was watching as well, about to make a move when he saw Kang Guifeng raise his paddle. He froze. But then he remembered that House Kang was also a medical company, so it was normal for them to buy the Millennium Snow Lotus. But he didn't know if they were determined to get it. 8 million. Fatty Lai raised his paddle. However, Fatty Lai had been the focus of the auction yesterday, and his raising of his paddle attracted everyone's attention. It wasn't that Fatty Lai was spending 8 million to buy some Millennium Snow Lotus, but that he and Kang Guifeng were at loggerheads. Yesterday, Fatty Lai and Kang Guifeng were competing for the pill of life extension and toxin cleansing, and today they were competing again. But even though Fatty Lai and Kang Guifeng were competing, no one else dared to interfere. First, these two weren't easy to mess with, especially Fatty Lai, who had Guan Shuamin behind him. Who would want to offend him? Wouldn't it be asking for trouble if they caused trouble now? Second, the Millennium Snow Lotus was useless to them, so no one would bid for it. 10 million. Kang Guifeng's face darkened. He didn't think that Fatty Lai would interfere. He thought he could get the Millennium Snow Lotus for 6 million, but now he had no choice but to raise the price to 10 million. 15 million. Fatty Lai didn't wait for Kang Guifeng's voice to finish before calling out a new price. Fuck. Kang Guifeng's face turned the color of a pig's liver as he cursed under his breath. He looked at Dr. Kang. Father, this Fatty Lai is obviously here to cause trouble. He screwed us over yesterday, and I'm guessing he's thinking the same thing today. Kang Guifeng couldn't be blamed for thinking that way. People of the same trade were enemies, and this was an unchanging rule. It was only natural that Fatty Lai wanted to go against House Kang. We have to get this Millennium Snow Lotus no matter what. It doesn't matter if he's here to cause trouble or not, we can't give up. Dr. Kang's face was unfriendly as well, but in order for House Kang to be promoted to a noble house, they had to get this Millennium Snow Lotus. Otherwise, everything would be over. 20 million. Kang Guifeng called out a higher price, hoping to scare Fatty Lai and make him give up. 25 million. Fatty Lai wasn't scared at all, calling out a higher price. 30 million. Kang Guifeng said immediately. 50 million. Fatty Lai said calmly. Kang Guifeng was furious. There were only two people bidding. Why did you raise the price by 20 million all of a sudden? What was the meaning of this? Did he have too much money to spend, or was he just trying to scare people? 55 million. Kang Guifeng looked at his father, who nodded before continuing. Chapter 528. I have a way most of the people at the scene could tell that Fatty Lai didn't really want to buy the Millennium Snow Lotus. Instead, he was just bidding for fun, trying to trick House Kang. Why else would he bid like that? Even if he had money, he wouldn't do it like that, would he? Kang Guifeng's blood rushed to his head. He was about to bid 85 million when Zhaolong stopped him. Zhaolong's mission today was to accompany Wang Xinyan, but now that House Kang's promotion to a noble house was set in stone, he didn't want to accompany Wang Xinyan anymore. He might as well come to the auction and see for himself. Zhaolong, what are you doing? Kang Guifeng frowned. Didn't you hear your grandpa say that we're determined to get it? Dad, it's true that we're determined to get it, but we need to use some strategy. Zhaolong said quickly. Blindly bidding like this will only make the price go higher and higher until it's out of control. Oh! Kang Guifeng was getting impatient. What do you want to say? Hurry up and say it. If we don't bid, we'll be letting someone else buy it. Guifeng. Listen to Zhaolong. Let him bid. Dr. Kang had a long talk with Zhaolong yesterday, and after seeing Zhaolong's performance in front of Yu Haitian this morning, he valued Zhaolong a lot more than his eldest son, Kang Guifeng. Kang Guifeng could only keep his mouth shut after hearing his father's words. 86 million. Zhaolong raised the bidding card in his hand and quickly explained to his father and grandpa, earlier, when we increased the price by 5 million, it showed that we still have a lot of money on hand. This way, if the other side is trying to trick us, they'll definitely continue to increase the price after hearing our increase. So I'm only increasing the price by 1 million to show that we're weak. If they're really trying to trick us, they'll think that we're at our limit and can't afford it anymore. Just like yesterday, they gave up when we couldn't raise the price anymore. If the other party is determined to get it, then whether I add 1 million or 5 million, it will be the same to them. Let's see how they raise the price. In fact, Kang Guifeng also understood this logic, but he was muddle-headed just now. Now that he heard his son's explanation, he realized that he was indeed a little impulsive. Dr. Kang, on the other hand, looked at his eldest grandson with satisfaction. Xiaolong's ability and calmness in handling things were undoubtedly better than anyone else in the Kang family. 100 million. Fatty Lai called out his final bid. Xiaolong didn't think that the opponent would be so determined. He had already shown weakness. Logically speaking, he shouldn't have increased the price like this. If he couldn't afford it, wouldn't he have to buy it? Did he really want to buy it? However, this was also hard to say. Fatty Lai was representing Miracle Dr. Guan's medical company, and House Kang wasn't the only one who needed the 1,000-year-old snow lotus. Other people might need it too. Xiaolong wanted to raise the price, but he couldn't. House Kang really didn't have any money left. Xiaolong wasn't an impulsive and reckless person. He spent 15 million on Wu Chentian yesterday, and House Kang only had around 80 million left. It could be said that the price just now was House Kang's limit. Grandpa, we don't have any money left. Xiaolong took a deep breath and said unwillingly, we still have to buy it first. We can't back out now. Dr. Kang gritted his teeth. This 1,000-year-old snow lotus had to be in his hands, or all of House Kang's plans would be ruined. They had even taken out 2 pre-sale products of the skin beautifying golden creation for auction tonight. If they couldn't get the 1,000-year-old snow lotus, how were they going to deliver it? Thinking about the golden creation and skin beautifying golden creation products later, Dr. Kang's heart calmed down a little. 101 million. Xiaolong didn't pretend anymore. Since he had to get it, he might as well raise the price bit by bit. Let's see if Fatty Lai had the patience to keep this up. The price exceeded 100 million, and Fatty Lai had to turn to look at Lin Yi. As far as he was concerned, House Kang was at its limit. He didn't want to give up now. Boss, should we still bid? Fatty Lai whispered. If that box is really that important, I think we should go for it again. We can increase the price appropriately. You just need to control it well. Lin Yi nodded. With the income from yesterday's pill of life extension and toxin cleansing, Lin Yi didn't really care about the money. You want that box? Xiao Xiao heard Fatty Lai's words and looked at Lin Yi curiously. You don't want that 1,000-year-old snow lotus? Lin Yi didn't want to explain, but he was afraid that Xiao Xiao's laughter would be heard again, so he explained, what I want is the box outside, not the lotus. What do you want the box for? Xiao Xiao asked curiously. Don't ask so much. I'll tell you when we get back. Lin Yi didn't want to talk too much with Xiao Xiao. What's with your attitude? Xiao Xiao wasn't happy. Hey, if I help you get the box, you'll be my boyfriend. You have a way? Lin Yi asked, ignoring Xiao Xiao's words. Of course. Xiao Xiao nodded and rolled her eyes. Do you agree or not? What do you want to do? Lin Yi, naturally, wouldn't agree to Xiao Xiao's random suggestion. Don't worry about it. If you agree, then it's a deal. Xiao Xiao winked at Lin Yi. Forget it. Lin Yi shrugged. Lin Yi couldn't agree to something like this just because of the box. Xiao Xiao was furious. She glared at Lin Yi. Then you can't ignore me from now on, okay? We'll talk about it after you get the box. Lin Yi didn't object this time. Now that he had Tianlong, Lin Yi couldn't just ignore Xiao Xiao. Then you have to cooperate for now. Whatever I say later, you can't say no, Xiao Xiao said. Okay. Lin Yi nodded. He could cooperate for a while, as long as she got the box. At this time, the price had risen to 110 million under Fatty Lai and Xiaolong's bidding. The two didn't increase the price by too much. It was a matter of who could last until the end. Xiaolong had just made a bid of 111 million, and Fatty Lai made a bid of 112 million. Chapter 529. Chapter 529, Buying a Makeup Box. Fatty Lai, Are you fucking doing this on purpose? You went against us yesterday, and you're doing the same today. Kang Gui Feng couldn't take it anymore and stood up. House Kang didn't have any money to begin with. If this continued, they wouldn't be able to pay for the Snow Lotus even with the money from the auction tonight. Moreover, the Kang family couldn't go bankrupt just to buy this Millennium Snow Lotus. It wouldn't be a problem if they didn't have a penny in their hands. Zhaolong sighed. It was too late to stop his father, but since he had already gone against Fatty Lai, he couldn't back down anymore. House Kang wasn't afraid of trouble. On purpose. Fatty Lai was about to give up, but after Kang Guifeng's words, he didn't want to give up anymore. He stood up and retorted, "What, you're the CEO of Dr. Kang's medical group. Don't you know what an auction is? You can bid, but I can't." Zhaolong had to stand up. He was a member of House Kang, and since his father had stood up, he couldn't just sit back and do nothing. But Zhaolong's voice wasn't as aggressive as Kang Guifeng's. He spoke calmly, "Mr. Lai, my dad didn't say that you can't buy it, but what's the use of this Snow Lotus? Can you tell me? This herb is precious, but it's not something that every Chinese medicine prescription needs, right? What's the use of it?" Fatty Lai laughed. "Do I need to tell you what I'm buying it for? Can't I just buy it for fun? Why don't you tell me what you're buying it for?" Zhaolong smiled. Fatty Lai's words were exactly what he wanted. He wanted Fatty Lai to say that so that he could move on to the next step of his plan. Zhaolong had already planned everything from the moment he stood up. "Mr. Lai, I can tell you," Zhaolong said. "We're a medical company. Although it's for profit, our goal is to save lives. That's not wrong, is it?" Fatty Lai frowned. He didn't know what Zhaolong meant, but he didn't refute. "Mr. Lai, the Kang family bought this Millennium Snow Lotus to save lives. As the saying goes, saving a person is like putting out a fire. This Millennium Snow Lotus is a guiding drug. The patient we are treating now only lacks this guiding drug." Zhaolong continued, "Neither servile nor overbearing. We may have some conflicts between us, but I hope that Mr. Lai will consider the fact that we're both sacred healers, and look at the bigger picture and the patient. If you're just buying it for fun, you should give it to us. After all, we need it to save lives." Zhaolong's words silenced the crowd. Zhaolong laughed coldly in his heart. "Playing with me? You're still too young. Who the hell do you think you are when it comes to playing dirty?" One had to admit that Zhaolong's words had tilted the public's opinion towards House Kang. He'd said he'd buy it to save a life, and if Fatty Lai were to fight with him now, wouldn't that be a little too much? Besides, Fatty Lai had said it himself. It was a fight for fun. You're playing, and he's saving someone. How could it be the same? If you didn't give it to him, then you'd be leaving someone to die. You're also in the medical field. Don't you know about the benevolence of a doctor? Was he supposed to watch others die before his eyes? Of course, Zhaolong wasn't afraid that Fatty Lai would change his words and say that he'd bought it to save a life. It was too late to change his words now. How could there be such a coincidence? You're saving someone else's life. He didn't believe that Fatty Lai would do that. He'd be looked down upon even more. Fatty Lai frowned. He'd wanted to give up already, so he didn't play any tricks with House Kang. He'd just say a few words and be done with it. He didn't expect this Kang kid to be so cunning. With just a few words, he'd put himself in such an unjust position. Fatty Lai had been smart his whole life, but he'd failed miserably. It wasn't Fatty Lai's fault. Even Lin Yi had asked him to give up. Why would he bother to deal with House Kang? Who said we're fighting with you for that Millennium Snow Lotus? Xiao Xiao stood up before Fatty Lai could say anything. "Oh, did I hear it wrong?" Zhaolong smiled faintly. He wasn't angry, but he was frowning in his heart. This Xiao Xiao wasn't a good person. She'd almost killed Chen Tian yesterday. This girl was a sly one. "What Millennium Snow Lotus? I want to buy that box." Xiao Xiao pointed at the box with the Millennium Snow Lotus on the stage. "I think this box looks good, so I want to buy it as a makeup box. What does it have to do with the Millennium Snow Lotus?" Xiao Xiao's words silenced the auction immediately. So Fatty Lai had been bidding for so long just to buy a makeup box for this girl? Zhao laughed coldly in his heart. You're spending 100 million on a makeup box. Who are you kidding? Zhao didn't believe Xiaoxiao's words at all. He knew that Xiaoxiao was a weird girl who wouldn't even blink an eye at all. From what he could see, Xiaoxiao standing up at this time was probably to help Fatty Lai out. After all, he'd said that he wanted to buy the Millennium Snow Lotus to save a life. And Fatty Lai had no choice but to give it up, but wouldn't he lose face? Xiaoxiao's actions saved Fatty Lai's face. Since she was buying a makeup box and not the Millennium Snow Lotus, she wasn't fighting with him on purpose. Oh, so you're buying a makeup box? Lil sis Xiaoxiao has quite the unique taste. Zhao wasn't Chen Tian. How could he believe Xiaoxiao's words? Yeah, why don't you give it to me? It's not easy for me to fall in love with something. Xiaoxiao smiled at Zhao. She was as cute as she could get, as cute as she could get. Zhao hemped coldly. Trying to play this trick with me? It's no use. Do you think I'm Chen Tian? Do you think I'm that easy to trick? Fine, Xiaoxiao. You made me spend 15 million yesterday, and I haven't even settled the score with you yet. You came to me on your own accord. If I don't teach you a lesson, you'll think that I'm easy to bully, won't you? With that thought, Zhao had a plan. He didn't look at Xiaoxiao anymore and turned to Fatty Lai. He asked in a tone that was neither servile nor overbearing, Mr. Lai, so this is the box you want? Not the Millennium Snow Lotus? Yeah, I'm helping her buy this box. Fatty Lai understood what Xiaoxiao was trying to say. He had to cooperate with her, but he didn't know the details of her plan, so he felt awkward. Chapter 530. Chapter 530. Who tricked who? Zhao thought to himself. Even if you're a fatty, I'll make you fatter today. I'll make your face even more swollen. Play with me. I'll play you to death. Zhao nodded and smiled. Then I'm sorry, I misunderstood Mr. Lai. It seems that Mr. Lai didn't want to fight with me for the herb, but rather, you wanted to buy the box. I misunderstood you, Mr. Lai. You don't have the heart of a doctor. I'm ashamed. Nonsense. Why would I want the herb? It's not delicious, and it's not fun. Xiaoxiao hemped. Since you know, why don't you give it to us? Ha. Zhao laughed coldly in his heart. Even if you didn't say it, I'd give it to you. But, it's not the herb, it's the box. Don't you like the box? Don't you want to use it as a makeup box? Fine, I'll fulfill your wish. Who do you think I am, Zhao? You dare to play this game with me? See if I don't cripple you. Ha, of course. Zhao smiled. Since it's a misunderstanding, then it's easy. Xiaoxiao sis likes the box, right? How about this, after I get the herb, I'll sell it to you for 50 million. I won't make you spend too much, we'll split it in half and take what we need. What do you think? Zhao looked at Fatty Lai and Xiaoxiao darkly. He wanted to see how they were going to deal with this. Zhao was sure that Xiaoxiao was lying about buying the box as a makeup box. Haven't you heard of the story of buying the casket and returning the pearls? Who would do such a stupid thing? So, Zhao used Xiaoxiao's words to turn the tables on them. In this way, they were caught in a dilemma. If he wanted to save his face, he would have to swallow his pride and take out 50 million to buy the box back. If they were shameless, then Zhao wouldn't force them to buy it. But from Zhao point of view, Fatty Lai's company had just been established, and he was a famous person. He wouldn't lose face over something like this. That would be too embarrassing. Dr. Kang and Kang Gui Feng looked at Zhao in astonishment. They didn't expect Zhao to be so shrewd. Not only did he seize the initiative of the auction with just a few words, but he also wanted to sell the wooden box with the snow lotus to Fatty Lai for 50 million. This was simply forcing them to buy and sell. The Kang family was still worried about the lack of funds, but in the blink of an eye, they extorted 50 million from others. Most of the people in the auction didn't think that Xiaoxiao was telling the truth, but there was nothing wrong with Zhao way of handling things. You wanted to buy the box, and he sold it to you. What was wrong with that? Xiaoxiao pretended to be angry and widened her eyes. She pointed at Zhao, speechless. Zhao was very pleased with himself. With this little girl's IQ, you can only fool that idiot Wu Chentian. Compared to me, Jiaolong, you're still a long way off. What do you think? You shot yourself in the foot, didn't you? This time, you have no choice but to buy it. All right. 50 million it is then. Thank you, Kang, for helping me. Fatty Lai's expression was also very interesting. He gritted his teeth and said hatefully. After Fatty Lai finished speaking, he sat back down with a gloomy face. However, his heart was bursting with joy. He didn't expect the girl beside his boss to be so powerful. With just a few words, she got the box for half the price. This was amazing. He secretly gave Xiao Xiao a thumbs up. Xiao Xiao grinned and turned to Lin Yi. Hey, I did what I said, didn't I? Ha! Lin Yi didn't expect Xiao Xiao to have so many tricks up her sleeves. She just tricked someone yesterday, and now she's doing it again. Not only that, she made the victim think that she got a great bargain. Aren't you going to thank me? Xiao Xiao was a little displeased. She was taking credit from Lin Yi, but Lin Yi didn't look too happy. Didn't I talk to you? Lin Yi asked. Me. Xiao Xiao turned her head away. What kind of person was this? He helped her out of kindness, but he didn't even say thank you. On the other hand, on Dr. Kang's side, Dr. Kang and Kang Gui Feng were both very happy. Dr. Kang even praised, Gui Feng, this son of yours is not simple at all. It looks like our house Kang will be flourishing in his hands in the future. This 1,000-year snow lotus worth more than 100 million has been cut in half. Haha, it's just for the sake of the situation. Jiaolong said humbly. 100 million is too high of a cost. Even if we make the skin beautifying golden creation, we can only make 30 or so servings. Even if we sell it for 5 million each, it'll barely cover our costs. Although we're doing everything we can to become a noble house, isn't it better if we can save some money? That Xiao Xiao probably hates your guts right now. Dr. Kang smiled happily. People of the same trade are enemies. Even without what happened today, they'd hate each other already. Jiaolong didn't care. He said proudly, that girl was the one who tricked me into eating yesterday. If I don't make her pay, how can I face her? But, will they go back on their word? Find some reason to reject it. Kang Gui Feng was worried. He was afraid that he'd lose the meat that was right by his mouth. That was 50 million. For the Kang family, this was definitely a huge sum of money. Of course it's possible. That girl is full of bullshit. She might say that she doesn't like it anymore and wants to go back on her word. Jiaolong had thought of this. So, we need to hurry. I'll go to the backstage and do the paperwork. We'll sell the box to Fatty Lai in front of everyone. I don't believe that he'll be so embarrassed as to not buy it. Dr. Kang and Kang Gui Feng nodded in agreement. Jiaolong's idea wasn't bad. In fact, when Jiaolong brought the box to Fatty Lai looked like he was in pain. He stared at the box in Jiaolong's hands, hesitating to take out the check. Mr. Lai, I've brought the box. Please take a look. Jiaolong wasn't in a hurry. He held the box with a confident look. This box is really pretty. It's a good makeup box. Isn't it a little too expensive? Xiao Xiao curled her lips. Hey, Jiaolong bro, we've eaten together before. Can't you give it to me?